robbing. Take away stress, we ganja copping. Blow it all out, it's all forgotten. Keep on walking, ain't no stopping. In this dirty, filthy, rotten, nasty little world we call a home. They get Vicky's popping, ain't no option for my partners, so they resort to scams and robbing. Take away stress, we ganja copping. Blow it all out, it's all forgotten. This is a cell cone sour film. Directed, written, and starred by the one and only Zeltron. Bullshit fly my way, I keep walking. Bullshit fly my way, I keep walking. Know what I mean? It's a new millennium. I have no eyes. They melt my eyes. They melt my eyes.
Yeah, look, they said the paper I get hot turn you to ashes. Only thing is I don't remember me asking. Fill up my bag of chips and I ain't sharing a fraction. I'm down for whatever, niggas know I'm about that action. He asked me for a ballpark price, I pitched him double. I'm texting like they uncle, but I gotta keep it subtle. And even if he notice, I know he don't want no trouble. Cause it's nothing like the hustle and the nigga from the struggle. I've been on my door since a youngin', you should know that shit. You should know, I've been on my door since a youngin', you should know that shit. You should know, I've been on my door since a youngin', you should know that shit. You should know, I've been on my door since a youngin', you should know that shit. You should know. I got what you need, what you want and what you don't. I do what you see, what you plot and what you want. I just serve the fiend, walking out the corner store. Only thing that's guaranteed is I'm bound to get this dope. I got what you need, what you want and what you don't. I do what you see, what you plot and what you want. I just serve the fiend, walking out the corner store. Only thing that's guaranteed is I'm bound to get this dope. Now don't let me catch you slipping, cause I always got that grip. We might run up in your crib and take whatever.
How's it going, chat? Sorry, my Chatterino was like all fucked up and I had to like troubleshoot that. There's a lot going on, but I figured it out. We're fine now. Horrible. Chat's doing horrible?
Getting Kamala.
Sorry.
Getting Kamala.
How's everyone else? Deadly Sin, thank you for the 5 months. I'm not vegetarian, thank you for the gifted sub, by the way. Yep. Looking cute without the beard? Yeah, I think it's better without. I'm not feeling good, but it's okay. Damn, chat, you guys are bummers. Got a really horrible toothache. Why is chat having such a hard time? Chill out. What's going on? Go to the dentist. Glorp is here. How could anyone be having a bad time? First of all. We love you, Glorp. Everyone loves Glorp. My summer has been terrible. It went by pretty fast, that's for sure. Whoa, he's emitting some kind of strange smoke. Glorp is, not me. Glorp. It's choking me. Oh, it's Glorp. Jesus. Releasing some kind of smoke. No, smoking. It's just like maybe it's like the air that he lets out. He exhales weed smoke that I inhale like a tree. Exhales CO2. I mean oxygen that I inhale and exhale CO2 for the tree. It's simple math. It's basic science. Anyone knows this. Yes, I do know that Susan Wojcicki fucking died. That was a weird piece of news to wake up to. She died of cancer. She had cancer for a while. The old CEO of YouTube. Yeah, just like that. Current CEO worse? Yes. He's much worse. But he's not a woman, so he doesn't get, like, targeted by weirdos and talked about nonstop. Like, Susan Wojcicki was bad, of course. But, you know, there's a kind of smoke that people have for women in those positions that they don't have for men.
Granted, I'm gay. Logan Paul is my savior.
Whoa.
KSI is my favorite. I want to watch Lil Nas X. I like what's on the trending page.
I'm trans and I'm gay.
Prawn is good. Beat my meat. Lock me down. Inject me. Inject again. I'm gay, trans, and I am boosted. Fauci is my savior. Hillary is woke. She-Hulk is my favorite movie.
Okay.
Red
Fauci
sex
is my
time, everybody.
savior.
Let's get on the Fox New Copium.
Yeah, we got some Fox News set aside to take a look at exactly what they're saying about the Harris Walz ticket. They're freaking out. Freaking out. They're losing their minds. Breakdancing Olympics. I'll talk about that. I don't want to show too much of the Olympics and get banned. The Olympics they don't mess around with copyright. They will blow you up. And then I'll never win the gold. In live stream reacting in the Olympics. Fox News breakdancing, yeah. Okay. I guess let's start with the Olympic breakdancing. This tweet was annoying, and it obviously popped off because it's kind of like, I mean, it is like interaction bait, basically, especially the way it's phrased. Olympic breakdancing. Come on, this is not a sport. This isn't anything except turbo cringe. Bolympic. God damn, dude. Get JoJo Siwa in here. That's just this dancer. Turbo cringe. Yeah, bro. Stay on Reddit. This was also a good move. But obviously they're incredibly skilled breakdancers at the fucking Olympics. It's really stupid to act like this isn't a sport because one person is like doing a bad dance. Especially because it's so new to the Olympics. Like the skill ceiling isn't established exactly. So I don't know. It just like was stupid. It's just engagement bait. It's just like people don't know anything about the Olympics and they don't know anything about dancing. So it's a perfect combination of things for people to pretend to care and get mad about on the internet. And I hate that shit more than anything. And you know, I think Twitter as it is now is probably the worst platform for it. But if there's anything I hate more than anything, it's motherfuckers who pretend to care about an issue to make a fucking political point. It is so fucking annoying when all of a sudden the Olympics is some fucking thing that conservatives care about or even know about. And like a third of the shit that they're complaining about is just not even true. It's just annoying. It's like you don't actually care. You don't give a fuck about the Olympics. It's stupid. My dad's really angry that breakdancing is an Olympic sport. Yeah, it's like, you don't care about the Olympics. You don't give a shit. You literally don't care. Olympic drag. Anyway, let's get started on the Tim Walz drama, okay? Republicans are attacking Walz from every angle they can because they don't have any angles. They don't have any angles. Let's be honest. Take a look at this. This is RNC Research. Banger tweet, dude. 9.1K.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. But we can get out there.
Yeah. Yeah, still want to vote for him? I don't think so. Sounds like socialism to me. Because he said it. Think about that. Use your brain. Common sense, chat. He said socialism and you should be scared of that. I thought we liked him. I'm being sarcastic. It's a really stupid thing because no one, like, socialism doesn't work good as a scare word in America anymore, and it really hasn't for a while. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It depends on where you are, but it mostly doesn't work. It's not going to end a campaign. Republicans have been crying socialism since like the 80s, if not earlier. Anytime Democrats do anything. It's literally like ridiculous. Nobody knows what it means. Nobody cares. And saying like socialism is when kids are fed in school is not going to hurt the Harris Walz campaign. I'm sorry. It's actually going to make them look pretty good. And you know, Tim Walz isn't embracing socialism in that clip. He's just saying, you know, the idea of socialism in America is pretty distorted. He has been to China 50 times or whatever, 30 times. I don't know. It's one of the two. 30 times. Lex told me. 30 times. Here's another attack from the MAGA War Room, which is official. It is real. This is real. Tim Walz is a weird radical liberal. What could be weirder than signing a bill requiring schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms? Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations? This is literally not true. This second thing is just a lie. And the first thing, I've mentioned this before, and I think the greatest, being afraid of a tampon, the greatest argument against this is like, why don't you want tampons in bathrooms? Just leave out the boys' bathrooms part, because it's like saying there should only be toilet paper in the men's bathroom because girls don't poop. It's like, you're still fucking wrong. You're still like just making shit up, legislating based on fantasy, and punishing people who don't deserve it. It's like what they're leaving out is the bill also put tampons in girls' bathrooms. It wasn't the bill put free tampons in all school bathrooms. There's no tampons in any public school bathrooms. This is in Minnesota. It's all public school bathrooms. They just didn't discriminate because it causes more problems than it solves. In that case, tampons were originally used for bullet wounds. They're very manly. Damn. Yeah, if it's a bathroom, it should have, you know, personal toilet products and personal toilet health sanitary products in it for free. I'm not American, so you guys have gendered school bathrooms? Yes. Sometimes. No, in school, yeah, all the time. Most public bathrooms, though, are not gendered. Happy Saturday. I'm watching Very Tall Bart live stream a Jordan Peterson YouTube poop edit. Nice.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms?
Why they put the footage of someone actually taking a shit, I don't fucking know. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, no soap in the bathrooms. It's woke. They're trying to say that Tim Walz is weird. Tim Walz is weird. But we're recording people in the bathroom taking a doo-doo.
Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations?
This is not what this means. It's not at all what this means.
Try electing the man who signed those bills Vice President of the United States. Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota,
This is awesome.
Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead
Saying he wants to hurt women is hilarious. He enshrined abortion rights, and it hurt women.
of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to enforce those laws on a national scale.
That's how the vice president works.
Walz.
He's gonna enforce them.
Too weird, too radical.
As if, you know, mass deportation now is not a radical platform. No. That's not radical and insane. Concentration camps and door knocking and, you know, literal house raids of American civilians on American soil. That's all good and normal. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Much to see, chat. Much to see. Oh, he already held the Montana rally. This was yesterday. Did anything happen? Why is he in Montana? Chat. Where is he? Closing the YouTube chat. I'm gonna get copyright striked. He's so short. What is that? God, he looks so rough, man. What is he doing? He likes to let the song play. It's a listening party. What do you mean? That's like his inner monologue. He's so old. He's looking worse. Yeah, he just gets worse.
Don't be rude.
We did it. We did it, Reddit.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He thinks he's Homelander.
Is
Yeah.
that big crowd?
The song is major ass. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. It's not a good song. It sucks. This is crazy, dude.
Thank you.
You got the
very
frat
much.
boys in here. What are we doing here in Montana? Not exactly a swing state. Don't know if he knows this. I think he's got Montana locked in, actually. What does he do? What is his next thing? He's just not doing anything. JD Vance has been in all the swing states. Yeah, everyone text Montana. Trump Vance
Please
is so
listen to this
similar.
absolute ear blessing URL.
So similar to Trump Pence, it's hilarious.
I edge him you. I edge him you to raise the V. I edge him you. I edge him you to raise
Is
the
that
V. Blood up on squads.
this guy's thing?
Friends, fun to good and cool to edge. Mom said was a gun. She would raise you if you knew her.
This is just what he likes to do, I guess. I hate this guy. Damn, you guys hate him. Yeah, it's a bad bit.
You can edge that if you got a fat, yeah. You can edge that if you got a fat, yeah. You can edge that.
This is real, real fucking 18-year-old humor. Fresh out of high school type shit.
A very, very special hello,
Corny.
Montana. I've been traveling all over.
Hello, he has not been traveling. Motherfucker has been
I'll
resting
tell you, I
this
know
week.
Montana better
What's
than
his
you
next
know
event?
I was all over your state today. Everything's 2
Oh,
hours.
all over the state.
When are we going to be there? 2 hours, sir. 2 hours. I gotta like Tim Sheehy a lot to be here. I have to. He better win. He better win.
Yo, what the fuck?
This is some beautiful country, though.
This is some beautiful country. Yeah, Tim Sheehy is here. Vice presidential nominee. This is literally the only event. In 4 days. JD Vance to deliver remarks in Byron Center, Michigan. No, I'm not getting tickets to that. No, I am not. One event, chat. What the fuck? What is he doing? Is Trump okay? Who's Tim? I don't know who he is. He's just like some Republican bozo.
did do a lot of driving. I'd go to one. We went to some friends' house, a really good friend's house with your governor. You have a great governor in this state. You know that, Greg. You have a great. But we went around the state, and it was so beautiful. And I'd say, when will I be there? Approximately 2.5 hours. So, great.
This is so funny.
Thank you.
Chat, look at this headline. Trump rally energizes Republicans in Montana. Yeah. Duh. The fuck? That's crazy. What is he doing? Kamala Harris is 2 points ahead of him nationally, and he's in fucking Montana. What is going on? Yeah, Montana, where tons of people live, but not even like... There's no undecideds in Montana. No one here is going to swing this election for him. He's just going back. He's going to the safest possible state. Like, Montana is safer than fucking Florida. Is he just like... What is he doing? Yeah, I literally think these are high schoolers. I said they were frat bros, but they look even younger than that. I think this is the frat bro. Freedom everything. What is Bilbo Baggins? Oh my god, dude, there's so many characters in the background.
It's a big state. It's a beautiful state, and we love
Trump
it. And we've
got
won it
DNI
every
on his
time by
Twitter
a
bio.
lot.
He's isolating.
So I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible place, this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. You built the country. Less than 3 months from now, we are going to defeat radical left Democrat John Tester. He's terrible. He is terrible.
Yeah.
He is terrible.
Okay. When is the DNC? Radical left. Yeah, radical left Democrat. The DNC is the 19th to the... What the fuck? Okay, so I remember in the interview with... No, in the presser he did 2 days ago, he said he's not campaigning because he's leading by a lot, which is not true. And he said he's letting their convention go through. I am campaigning a lot, but even though he's not. He did 27 rallies last month, chat. 27 rallies in July. This is the only rally he's done this month, and he doesn't have any plan for the rest of the month. 1, Montana. He's just letting them campaign? That is his strategy? This is pure speculation, but he has to be like replanning his campaign. I think he's literally like sitting down with campaign managers, with maybe with his own son, maybe with JD Vance, to like figure out what the fuck to do. He has to. He has to be re-triangulating. That's the only explanation for him just fucking taking a month off. Like, what? He's clearly very, like... He's only been talking about the debates, so he's, like, focused on the debates happening. He must be prepping, or at least have plans to prep. I don't think it's a little early to be prepping for the first debate, which is September 10th, I believe. Yeah, he's throwing ketchup around. The debate, yes. Yeah, he's triangulating like Jordan Peterson. Oh, the 4th. Still, no campaign events? He's just letting them campaign? Letting the DNC happen? Trump at his peak would have done a campaign event on the same day as the DNC to flex how many people come.
Shit.
Even Joe Rogan endorsed RFK over Trump. That's a whole fucking separate drama that's still kind of unfolding. He didn't officially endorse him. He pulled it back. Joe Rogan walked it back.
For 3 months.
Tough Boy 9, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, Joe Rogan walked back his endorsement of RFK and was like, well, it wasn't really an endorsement. I just said I liked him as a person. I'm on that axiomatic level. Shit. He literally hasn't done a single campaign event outside of Montana this month. And he has time to go on Aiden Ross's stream. And he's just making JD Vance do it. Maybe... He's perplexing. Listen, you have to think from the perspective of Donald Trump's sinking ship of a campaign. What can you do? What do you do? And I think what Donald Trump has leveraged more significantly than anything else is his, like, star power, is his ability to, like, you know, he was on Aiden Ross's stream. Yes, he was. It's his ability to, you know, like at the end of 2020, after the election, he was just whining and complaining and his approval went down. And, like, for the next 2 years, he just fucking whined and everyone got really annoyed at how whiny he was and how much he was like, I really wish the election didn't happen the way it happened. I really wish I could have gotten away with stealing the election. And then he comes back to start his campaign and all of a sudden has, like, insane momentum because he was gone for a little bit. He backed away. He didn't do a campaign event or like a rally because he was doing like rallies after the election and shit, just like for fun. He walked away from like the public eye for just a little bit. And then he came back with a ton of momentum because he like let people miss him a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that is his next strategy. It has to be. If he's concerned about his turnout, which I think he is at these events, he's going to not do one for a while and increase the demand, supposedly, so he can meet that in like a bigger moment for him. Which from like an egomaniac perspective makes a little bit of sense. You know, bide your time, replan your campaign in the meantime, fire everyone who is, you know, currently ruining the entire fucking thing. I don't think he'll actually do that, but that's what you would do if you were smart. Hire entirely new campaign managers that are much younger. You're so real for calling his plan. I don't know if it's even a plan so much as it's like kind of his only strategy. He has to retreat for now. And this rally is kind of him just like accepting his L. He has to retreat. Art of war. He has to retreat and recoup his losses before he comes back out stronger. Whatever that is, you know, whether it's new attack lines, new narratives, new lies about the border, new policy proposals, who knows? He's not going to switch out the VP. I think it's too late anyway. He might plan an endorsement. But the debate, I think, is going to be his focal point to coming back. He's going to make people miss him, and then the debate is on the 5th, so it's less than a month from now. He's going to give people a couple of weeks while he preps and figures out what his plan is. And then it's going to come back, and he's going to try to flip it. American elections and elections in general kind of happen in these cyclical moments. You have to kind of sync with the news cycle, and really, like, you can. So many people are going to be watching this debate. Like, more people are going to watch this first Trump Kamala debate than watch the last one, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So he wants to make it his moment. It won't work out in all likelihood, but that's I think what he's gonna hinge on. He's gonna call her Hamas. They're gonna prove they aren't weird. My advice to Republicans is to stop defending themselves. If you're gonna do this shit, you have to just own it. Like, stop wasting your energy being like, I'm not weird, you're weird. I'm not weird. Nuh-uh. Talk about other shit. Talk about anything else that's not weird. It's just a waste of time. You're chasing your tail. You're biting the media bait. We'll watch the DNC when it happens, too. That'll be cool. Yeah, I just don't know what he's doing, like, right now. Just this moment is, like, being really seriously wasted. And we'll watch the first debate, obviously, too. This is an old Trump clip, but we can watch it.
You're not known to be a humble man, but I want...
Wait, what?
You're not known to be a humble man, but I wonder...
I think I am actually humble. I think I'm much more humble than you would understand.
As you...
He's much more humble than you can even understand. Today's 5-ish news. Breaking news, chat. I'm gonna turn it down.
Live in studio. So in today's
hang on.
August 10th, 2024, live in studio.
Live.
So in today's business section on the New York Times, I literally went straight to it. Like my gut just told me to go there, which was weird because I normally don't do that. But on the front page was something about my person. And if you think this got me upset, in fact, it made me know that things are coming, like he's coming back and with the truth. So it actually made me like feel like stronger about us, which I don't need that, but like, I'll just tell you this. The article didn't hurt me. It helped me to know that, one, this is a way he's allowing things to be more transparent. So, like, I can ask questions on my own without him having to, like, tell me everything. So, that's actually really good. Also, the person who it's about, I'm not going to use her name. It seemed like she was using him for money. And I highly doubt they had a strong bond. And I highly doubt they smooched a lot. It was probably like 1 or 2 times. Literally. And I won't even say anything other than that. And because of 1 or 2 times of that, she probably thought she could, and she did sue him, and that's a gold digger, and I highly disrespect you for that. And there's something called karma, and that's all I'm going to say. The article said that he didn't get divorced, but I just have a feeling that may not be true. And the article calls his apparent wife Miss MS, and then her last name. Well, if he's still married, which the article said he's still married, wouldn't you call her Mrs., not Miss? Wouldn't you call her Mrs., not Miss? Yeah. And by the way, if they are still married, isn't that disrespectful to call someone, even if they do live separate lives, which they do, wouldn't you call the wife a Mrs., not a Miss? And the article clearly calls her a Miss. So that tells me they're divorced and it's in secret. Also, one thing I'll tell you very quickly, apparently that relationship with that gold digger person, sorry to use that word, was ended the year we started our physical relationship. Whoa. Therefore, I knew he never cheated on me. So no, this article didn't hurt me at all. That's what you were trying to do. I'm going to move on to other stuff in a different video. So no, and I know that we will be reunited extremely soon because this can't go on like this. It just can't.
5-ish. This ends now. I'm sick and tired of you playing the victim.
Eric Adams?
Acting like I left and you didn't push me away.
Eric, you're back. I'm so happy to see you. I would never push you away. Why you
Stop. Never. Well, then why'd you undermine me? I swore an oath to protect this city, and you go behind my back and build tunnels under the city. Do you know how bad that made me look? Those nasty things the media called me?
You need to get over that, Eric. Don't forget who got you into office. I make a few phone calls and those campaign funds dry up like Peking duck skin. Eric? There's nothing for me if we're not going to be. And how dare anyone try to hurt me with this? And I just have a feeling this was released to kind of test me and our love. And also, I'm just going to end it there. And I'll see you soon, baby. See you soon. I love you very much. Always will. Always have. It's never going to stop. Ever. Saturday, August.
Well, that's what's going on in the news. Gutfeld. We can come back to this. Maybe we'll watch it Sunday all the way through. But this is, I mean, I don't imagine he really hits anything too different here. Well, Biden's decision frontline documentary. I don't imagine they really go into it. Maybe they do. Jiao Hong Shu. Operation Enduring Pasta. Not Gutfeld. What do you mean, chat? He's saying he's getting to the bottom of why Tim Walz is the real weird one. He's going to tell us why Tim Walz is the real weird one. Actually, I'm taking back my advice to Republicans. Keep defending yourselves. It's working, guys. It's going to work.
So you know what that means. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so pure, Hunter Biden tried to snort her. Host of Fox News Sunday, Shannon Breen.
creepy. Jump scare. Stickbug censored it.
He's as cheerful as an orphan with tuberculosis. Comedian and founder of Western Razor Company, Tim Angelo.
Everyone's here to just plug some stupid shit, or they're like dumbass bug.
As a former Miss Citrus, everything she touches is freshly squeezed. Host of the Morgan Ortega Show on Sirius FM, Morgan Ortega. And he can see your house from up there. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Champion,
Greg is the least funny guy. He's the least funny guy in the world, I think. He's the least funny guy in the world.
Right. Yeah. You know, before we get to some news stories, let's do this. Yeah.
Greg's leftovers.
Yeah, it's leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week, and that's.
I read the jokes we didn't use this week. Maybe just don't use them.
As always, it's my first time reading.
Once again, reminding you, no cursing was redeemed 21 minutes ago. For fucking Greg Garfield, dude. Not worth it. He's so demented. Yeah, he is. Timer 10 minutes.
Sorry, I don't.
Stop. Timer 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Chad, it's 4:20. At least. At least it is.
Them. So if they suck, we'll tie Joe Mackey to the slender trunk of a sapling, and then as it slowly grows to a large, tall tree, he hangs himself.
Wow, that was...
It'll take 80, 90 years, but so worth it. So the Iraqi parliament may lower the legal marriage age for girls to 9 years old. So guess who's now condo hunting in Baghdad? In a resurfaced interview from 2020, Vice President Harris was asked...
Hang on. Fox News, by the way. Child marriage is more common in the southern states. Oklahoma, Texas is actually the number one. Or I'm sorry, number two. West Virginia is number one. Joe Biden's favorite state. 5.8 in Oklahoma. 5.9 in Nevada. God. 5.6 in Arkansas, 5.5 in Tennessee, 5.4 in North Carolina. 4.3 in Florida, 4.9 in Georgia and Alabama and Louisiana. And that's per 1,000. That's not even per 100,000. That's nuts. The 5.5 in California unnerves me. Yeah. It's gross. But, you know, Iraq is, you know, crazy. I'm not even going to say what they're actually implying. It's just remember this whenever Republicans or even liberals really talk about how Muslims like to marry children. So do Texans, bro. You think it's all the Muslims in Texas that are doing that? What do those numbers mean? It's the amount per 1,000. So 6.9 on average. Higher means bad, chat. Oh my god. The average is 4 every 1,000 15 to 17-year-old is married per 1,000. It's for how many there are. So in Texas, there's almost 7 if you actually do the average. It rounds to 7 out of every 1,000 15 to 17-year-old. In West Virginia, it's a little more than that. And this is 15 to 17. I don't know why they stopped it at 15, because there are plenty of states with no minimum age. In Texas, it's 15. California, no minimum age. Arizona, no minimum age. Or I'm sorry, is that New Mexico or Arizona? I always get them confused. It's New Mexico. Oklahoma. Just the, 2 states bordering the ruralist parts of Texas. The highest state, dude. And just it happens to be that these two have no age minimum. Just a simple hop and skip. I'm Texist. No age minimum in Arkansas. Gross. I'm sorry, Missouri. It's gross. The South is gross.
Asked who her favorite rapper was.
And it's not just the South either. It's like American. It's an extremely American thing. Early America was nasty with that shit. Oh, I swore. Fuck. Reset timer.
It's reset. 10.
Texas toast. I'm sorry. I just got mad. No, the South isn't even the problem in this circumstance. It's disproportionate in the South, but I mean, it's disproportionate in California too. And also West Virginia ain't the South. I mean, if you ask people, yeah. But you know what I mean. Like, it's a very American problem. Why is pedophilia so prevalent in the world? History. European history. American history. It's gross.
Alive, and she said Tupac, who's dead.
Tupac?
And when asked who her favorite president was, she said Joe Biden, who's
Tupac.
As for Kamala avoiding questions from the press, she says she wants to get to an interview scheduled before the end of the month. She'd do it sooner, but she needs to learn words.
What is Trump doing, man? He's on Aiden Ross's stream. And doing safe rallies for his own comfort in Montana. The Fox News is hammering home nonstop this narrative, like, Kamala's not doing an interview. Kamala's not talking to the press. Kamala's not doing an interview. And it's like, dude, Trump isn't doing anything. At least she's campaigning.
You can take my ears, but you cannot take my liberty. They want to cut off my ears like the Taliban, but what they don't know is my ears can grow back like SpongeBob through budding, by the way. Hit me with your best shot, why don't you? Because...
By the way.
Nancy Pelosi admits they forced President Biden to drop out of the race, not because he was unfit for office, but because he would lose to Trump. So she stabbed Biden in the...
This makeup is crazy, dude. It does not match his hand. And it, like, ends so harshly. It looks like he's wearing a mask.
Back, which is weird because she usually bites people in the neck. Olympic swimmers are getting sick from having to swim in the Seine River. You could tell something was wrong because they went in looking like this, and they came out looking like this.
Seine River?
All right. President Biden openly expressed confusion as he greeted the World Series.
This picture's crazy. Whoa. Why does Joe Biden look so small? He looks so whoa. He's so why? This is just as like bizarre as the Jimmy Carter picture. Like the guys in the back look gigantic. Is this with a basketball team? Like what? The guys in the back look gigantic. They're fanned in like a tribunal. Joe Biden is incognizant. You don't know where he is. He's taking a dookie. The two guys next to him are also giants. There's too many people in this picture. There's too many. Just too many.
Series winning Texas Rangers at the White House evidently kept asking.
Oh, maybe he is photoshopped into this picture. That would make a lot of sense. Maybe Greg Gutfeld put him into this picture.
Where is Chuck Norris? In Olympic women's boxing, XY chromosomed boxers Amani Khalif and Lin Yuting advanced to their weight class finals. I think I speak for everyone when I say,
God,
may
sucks.
the best man win.
I think I speak for everyone when I'm a disgusting pig. Yeah, man. Normal guys, by the way, they're so normal. They're so normal, they're looking at women's boxers that have trained their entire lives. Gold medal winning now. In the case of, I'm forgetting her name, but the girl on the left. Also from a country where, Iman? Dude. Also from a country where it's illegal to be trans. Iman Khalif. Like how? You literally get executed for being trans in Algeria. So how? Greg Gutfeld. How? Oh no, it's just a joke though. But it's just a joke. I'm glad we're circling back completely into like 2007 style, you know. It just boils down to misogyny. It's just like these women are too manly. Women athletes are manly. Cool, man. No, that's good. Tell Donald Trump to say that next. It'll make him look awesome. Bold of you to assume he knows anything.
In a Comics for Kamala event, Ben Stiller said, quote, like every white Jewish guy, I wish I was black. Well, there's always a chance he could become black later in life, said one woman.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's just mimicking what Trump said. He's just parroting Trump's. Oh my God. She became a black person. Yeah, you're going with that? Cool. Why does bro look like a troll? He really does, man. He's rough. He's looking
Joy
rough.
Reid says Democrat Mark Kelly would have been a better pick for Kamala's VP because
I like how they always have to choose these stupid frames. It's like, ha, gotcha. You made a silly face. It's like, bro, Gutfeld is literally a living nightmare. Like, bro looks like he has seen a ghost. Like, what are we doing? Every frame of him looks ridiculous. There's no joke otherwise, yeah.
Quote, super white, like a mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread. That must be why she's copying his hairstyle.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. Really doesn't. This is just a famous case of conservatives being like, I can't tell the difference between two different things. Many such cases. Conservatives holding up two different, completely different, fundamentally different things and being like, it looks the same to me. Head.
Gutfeld looks like a
She
DR house
literally has hair. She has hair that is bleached. Hair that she has consciously like made a choice to change the color of. Hair that is trimmed with a certain style. Doesn't work, man. If she actually had shaved her head, you'd have like a mean joke. And even still, making the choice to shave her head, which she hasn't done here, is different than this, which is a consequence of genes and nature. He's returning to monkey, hairless monkey.
The British government is now threatening to arrest Twitter users, and they warned, think before you post. Or what, asked one man.
No! One man is that one man? Stick bug. Did you guys guess that it was gonna be fucking George Washington? Hey, oh, I swore. I literally swore. Run it back.
Top of the morning, 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 top of the morning. Hold on.
I just thought it was so funny that after Stickbug, it ended up being George Washington. She George my Washington, and chat can't be mad at me for anything I've ever done. Top of the mountain, top of the mountain, top of the mountain. I get the appeal of Gamba now? Yeah, it'd be like that.
Little
George
historical
Washington.
humor there.
I see him, I clap.
Finally, massive amounts of flooding is set to hit New York City this weekend as Hurricane Debbie approaches. And to save stranded New Yorkers, Mayor Adams will implement 5 massive flotation devices. Can't go wrong. All right.
So lazy.
So, if you ever want to know what the Dems are up to, just listen to what they accuse you of doing.
It's just, it's his classic thing. He loves just hammering home. The ladies on The View are bad. They're stupid and ugly. It's the worst, dude. It's the worst. Whatever, man. Sure. Joy Behar. This guy's got nothing to say. I did reset the timer.
The word
what is his clipboard? I don't know.
It was first uttered by a guy named Tim Walz, directed at another guy called J.D. Vance. But
yeah,
turns
there's
out
one normal guy here, and it's definitely the one wearing eyeliner, says Greg Gutfeld, who looks like an actual Harry Potter house elf right now. He looks like Dobby.
Oh, Tim Walz is weird.
This guy thinks cis women are men. This guy don't know his gender's good. Like, the horseshoe theory exists. Conservatives have fully circled around to sounding like the leftists that they make up in their head. Where they're like, they can't even tell the difference between a man and a woman. I mean, Ron DeSantis said it at the Republican convention. He was like, they can't even tell what a woman is. He said that in that exact tone. Do not say that about my boy Dobby. Smoking Dobby. Nobody's going to get his pot of gold. Exactly.
out, as usual, it's a preemptive projection. For the Dems always call you on stuff that they're about to do or have already done. They accuse you of election interference before they do it. They accuse you of racism before they do it.
Oh.
They accuse you of censorship
That's the
right
picture
before
they
they try to shut you up.
I like the pictures that they choose.
Already done. They accuse you of election interference before they do.
Yeah, voting. You guys know that. They're not showing like evidence or examples. They're just showing things. It's like a picture book. Voting, Democrats.
They accuse you of racism before they do it.
Racism.
They accuse you of censorship.
That's the word. Censored, free speech, we the people. Triple combo. It's everything you need to know about the Democrats. You just need a big donkey over all of it, and then there you go.
Right before they try to shut you up. And when they accuse you of being weird, you just know the party of drag queen story hour, fat activists, and feminists supporting Hamas have really something freaky up their sleeves.
He's so mad, dude. Fat activists, bro. You're gonna be like, yeah, oh yeah. It's not weird to just throw that out there. That alone is just so weird. You're it's just like baffling. Like your average voter can't even interface with that. Dude, Greg Gutfeld is sitting next to Tyrus. He's fat. What do you mean, fat activist? Tyrus is a fat activist. He just is an activist for right-wing values that happens to be fat. Many such cases, such as Donald Trump. What are we talking about? There are famously no fat conservatives, and none of them watch Greg Gutfeld. I'm pretty sure they mean body positivity people. No, I know. But that's not like a Democratic Party policy. No one's voting for anything related to that. That's not politics. That's like advertising and marketing that he has a problem with. It's like seeing fat people in a Nike commercial that makes him mad. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with politics. It's just weird. It's literally weird.
Now, Walz is weird, but he disguises it under the costume of phony compassion, a fake politician who masks destructive ideas under the guise of empathy. At a 2017 town hall, he implied 10-year-old boys should be able to invade girls' bathrooms because it's all about safety. Quote, as a teacher, my #1 responsibility in the classroom is the safety, security, and belongingness of every...
You notice they already have to go to like 2017? Like he's been in power for so long in so many different forms. From Congress to governor to whatever, National Guard he was in, and then he was a teacher. Like there's some, he's been doing, he's 60 years old.
Every single child in that room. These are children my son's age, a 4th grader, a 10-year-old who just wants to go to the bathroom. And their identity is they are male or female, and they just go in that bathroom and use it, end quote.
Why are you talking about this? He's like, yeah, let the kid just go where they want to go. And Greg Gutfeld's like, yeah, I have something to say about this one. Yes, I do. It's the most normal statement ever. They just go in that bathroom and use it. Greg Gutfeld, it's like, no. It does not end there. I need to watch them.
Sounds so folksy, you know? Belongingness. Yeah, they'll be belonging in therapy with this guy at the helm. But who's
Okay, but like, no, actually. He's been at the helm of an entire state, and it's actually doing really well. It's one of the most successful and happiest states. Like right now. Like currently. He's so mad, bro. Did they forget unisex bathrooms exist? No, they don't, actually. No, no, no. Bathrooms are the honor system. Every bathroom is gendered. It's the honor system, but Greg Gutfeld has to verify it. And if they don't believe you, even though you know better than they do, they can still question you regardless. And the only way to answer them is to show them your genitalia. But, you know, they're going to ask everything except that question. It's awesome. It's an awesome way to do discourse. It's really normal and popular. And people are going to vote really hard for this. Yep. Keep doing this.
Does he rely upon for his Midwestern takes? Here's Minnesota State Rep Leigh Finke, who wants to train more children's doctors on sex change surgery and puberty blockers. He sponsored the Trans Refuge Bill, which Walz signed, which makes Minnesota a sanctuary state for such butchery.
If you promise trans refuge, then we need to increase the number of people who are offering gender-affirming care. So we have some money, hopefully.
Okay, the Republican curve, or the Republican spin on stuff like this is no matter what, gender-affirming care equals surgery. We're not talking about that. This person's not talking about that. We don't talk about that. Tim Walz is not talking about that when it comes to minors. Gender-affirming care can range from literally anything from therapy to medication to specific counseling to like so many different things. So many different things that do not include surgery. Ridiculous. Social transitioning, puberty blockers, hormones, therapy, specifically therapy, and medical care and education, and yeah, like, timer. I didn't swear. Goated.
We can pass to help entice people to move from those states who also practice gender-affirming care. We want to do...
Yeah, like medical practitioners.
This is like a historic moment for a fantastic art form. I wonder how they handle it.
Yo, mon ami! Breakdancing in the place to be! From the land of the ninja and sushi, we have Japan! Who is over there? In this corner, you have the gun up in your waist, please do not shoot up the place. America! Is that Le Snoop Doggy Dogg in the audience?
Wow, breakdancing in the Olympics. This is like a historic moment for a fantastic art form.
That's nuts.
Internship programs.
Is that actually how the announcers were handling it?
And fellowship programs with Children's Minnesota and other places where people can learn gender-affirming care.
This is the most normal stuff ever, by the way. Good pause timing. Greg is reacting to the stick bug. Listen. This is the most normal stuff ever, and Greg Gutfeld is having a tantrum about stuff he doesn't understand. And he's like, gender-affirming care, yeah, right. How about I hit him? When I was a kid, you used to punch children until they stopped misbehaving. Why can't we do that again?
Is now available for babysitting.
Don't be rude.
What?
And that's the perfect person to give advice for impressionable kids. I don't know. Strangers that want to take in runaways with perfectly good parents who don't want them sterilized, that's weird. I wouldn't send my son to St.
Sterilized? Bro. Being like, they're sterilizing the children. That's fucking weird, man. Because guess what? They're not doing that. And if they are, it's entirely voluntary and an informed decision. It's not a fucking surprise that a trans woman can't carry fucking babies in her womb. Like, what the fuck? Sterilized. Yeah, I think a trans woman understands that, you know, getting bottom surgery means that they won't carry babies Getting their testicles removed means that they won't have sperm anymore. Like, that's sterilization. Yeah, bro really wants these kids to have kids. Because we're not talking about sterilization of kids, by the way. I'm talking about sterilization of adults. None of this happens. None of this happens. And even then they can save sperm. Yeah, you can save sperm. You can save eggs. Except, you know, Republicans want to make IVF illegal, which I'm sure Greg Gutfeld would have no problem with as a, you know, childless, unmarried douchebag. As a trans woman, this is a surprise to me, /J. Yeah, very normal to worry about the fertility of random children. The fuck, man.
Paul, he may come back as St. Paula. There are other weird things about Walz, of course. He fibs about his military service. He set up a snitch line to narc on citizens for not wearing masks outside. And he
No one cares, idiot. No one gives an F about that. Literally, no one cares. Do you know your tattoos were permanent? Shit. You mean they're on my skin? That's crazy. Set up a snitch line. Like, no context. He just, like, that. I'm sure that is such a dishonest take of what it actually was. And, like, bro, who cares? No one was like wearing masks is bad. No one who's voting is really like that, who's not just voting for Trump immediately.
he's super weird on free speech.
I think we need to push back on this.
I think he's lost weight since this, or maybe he's just older now, but he used to be a rotund Tweedledee looking motherfucker. I love a big Midwest boy.
No guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There's no guarantee. What? I guess his class didn't cover the First Amendment, but if misinformation isn't free speech, then shouldn't he arrest himself for lying about his service? So,
yeah. Okay, so there's this stupid, unbelievable narrative. Yes, he should arrest himself, first of all. Of course. If you disagree, you're literally Hitler. I mean, that's what Republicans think. You're gay Hitler. Because Hitler was, of course, a leftist. And actually gay all along. Yeah, they're claiming stolen valor of an E9, which is nuts. He actually did serve for like it was like 23 years. He never lied. It's like, it's crazy to me. 24. Served basically a quarter century. And they're like mad he didn't die in Iraq or something. When he was like gonna be deployed or something, and he stepped down. He didn't step down because of the Iraq war. He stepped down so he could run for office. But he also was in opposition to the Iraq war anyway. No one should have gone and fought in that war. So conservatives being like, he didn't go and fight in Iraq is crazy. For the same reasons I criticize people for liking, for example, Pete Buttigieg, who served in Afghanistan. You shouldn't like someone who's proud of serving in Afghanistan or Iraq. Like, nuts. Crazy. Like, there is so much. I think more than ever, there's an actual political opportunity to change the narrative on America's fucking post 9/11 destruction and revenge campaign. Like, Trump ran for office on like Hillary was pro-Iraq war and we never should have been there. And he was fucking right. But now his VP pick, it was pro-Iraq war. So what the fuck are we doing? Like, I think J.D. Vance was in Afghanistan too, right? Or was he in Iraq? I don't remember. He was in one or the other. But still, he's pro both of those wars. Rare Trump W. It was just a grift. He's just as pro-war. Because pro-war is being pro-American economy. And he understands that probably better than most. At least on a more, like, objective level. Trump was woke. He weaponized people's frustration and understandable, disillusionment with the fucking foreign policy of America.
Been too impressed with our capital. It looks like shit.
And it was a smart electoral thing to do. But, I mean, Tim Walz being VP and having been anti-Iraq war is so good. Trump used to be pro-trans. Yeah, he's more pro-trans than most Republicans right now. He usually is just like, shut up about it. Like, do whatever. It should be left up to the states. I don't know. Whatever. The states should decide. Which he knows means, Republican Party platform across the board. Unless it's a specific blue state. Which there's only a handful of, Good thing I made a guess that you were online. Does Twitch just not send notifications right now?
Here's the deal.
Yeah, he lied about his service, and he should arrest himself. That was Greg Gutfeld's point.
My main point, Walz made himself fair game, since his only attack was that the other guy was weird. Because everyone is weird, the more you get to know them. It's why marriage is a commitment.
Okay.
Over time, both spouses realize we're all bat crazy.
Okay, we're all weird is not the defense that I expected, and not a good one. I'm gonna be honest.
But there's weird and there's dangerously insane. And that's thinking children can decide to have themselves castrated. And that's Tim Walz. His sin, among many, is that he smeared Vance for being human.
Very normal point to make about a guy who's never said that. Normal.
Human. His accusation assumes that he's not. And once you make that claim, all bets are off. You think Vance is weird and you want to operate on healthy kids? If saying
this picture, you think Vance is weird? Look at this. He looks funny.
Crazy
so
cat
immature.
ladies is weird. What if you want to turn someone's son into one? So congrats, Walz, you're a weirdo. But so are we.
Okay, this doesn't make any sense.
But so are we. But at least we don't lie about it. Unlike you. But maybe that's because you're way weirder than we can even imagine. All right.
Period. Yeah. You said it, Greg. You got him.
Shannon, it's common knowledge around the building that you're a very weird person. I mean, no, I'm serious. She's a freak.
Did you hear that frantic leading clap?
But didn't Walz make a mistake by breaking the weird seal? Like, there's no non-weird person. So it's like, once he said that, it's like, okay, we're coming after you.
Well,
and they have nothing. It's so sick. They have nothing. We're coming after you. You should arrest yourself for not saying that you didn't go to Iraq. We're all weird. Yeah, embracing it is not going to work. It's Gutfeld's only angle because he's weird as fuck anyway. And he can't hide it. He's creepy.
And the word you use, folksy. So this is a lot of the headlines we're seeing. He's lovable. He's like your dad next door, your grandpa, your coach. I mean,
Your dad
so
next
he's supposed to be
door.
the normie, we're told. Those are the words the kids use now.
Yes.
As you know. But when you
God.
talk about things like free speech, and because 9 of the weirdos I like to hang out with most are at the Supreme Court. And they have decided 8-1 in some really controversial cases that the most hateful, weird stuff that you would say is protected by the First Amendment because it's not rainbows and puppies and all that we have to protect. It's the most hateful stuff, but the court recognizes the Constitution protects
We
your
have to
ability to say
protect
these
that.
things out loud, and then people can judge you based on that. But here's the deal. We got to get past all of the love fest at some point. That's any new candidate gets that. But you have to get to where he is on his policy position.
She said, oh yeah, you called me weird? Well, I have free speech, and I can be as weird as I want because of the First Amendment, and you can't arrest me. because the First Amendment protects the most horrible things you could ever say, and we have to protect that. And it's like, whoa, what have you said? Yeah, her hair is stiff like plastic. It's Fox News, man. Every woman is like every woman's an amalgamation of a 1980s teachers section of a yearbook from a high school. Blown out, bleach blonde, blue-eyed, high-functioning alcoholic. It's an archetype, very specifically targeted by Fox News and Donald Trump, by the way. A lot of his assistants meet this archetype. Almost all of his press secretaries that were women did. Didn't he have like 2 or 3 different women that all look like this? Kayleigh McEnany is only one of them. Yeah, bad built, bleach blonde, butch body. They usually don't have butch bodies, though.
You outlined some of them. Now, some people may love that, but they need to know what they are so they can decide how to vote.
Exactly. Now, you did cover the Supreme Court, and they are all perverts.
How do you tell that they're alcoholic? It's an educated guess in a lot of cases. Sometimes you can kind of just tell that they're drunk. But it's an educated guess based on the personality. The kind of people that I've met that match this personality that absolutely were high-functioning alcoholics and were really sneaky about hiding it. And, like, a coping mechanism for the kind of person that you have to be to get in front of the camera and do fucking right-wing propaganda on Fox News. Like, you have to be a very angry, very resentful, reactionary person. And in all likelihood, you don't have a lot of friends and you're not very enjoyable to be around, but you have a lot of money. And I'm not, like, psychoanalyzing these people. This is just, like, what becomes of you. It's an inevitability with, like, being a right-wing influencer. You, like, on some universal level, these people understand that they're, like, fucked up. Whether it's, like, karmic or, like, I don't know. It's like you lose a piece of your soul being a right-winger, and it genuinely affects you. We see it all the time. And it could be just, like, genuine disenfranchisement from being as wealthy as you get to be, being a Fox News talking head. Because it is, yeah, it's moral bankruptcy. It's all in exchange for money. It's all for the bag. But in a lot of cases, the people on these panels are paid very well. That bag is fucking productive. And right-wing media has continued to reward more and more reactionary language as time goes on, I think as a product of right-wingers discovering social media. Like, Twitter's a great example. Twitter amplifies right-wing messaging, and if you get a lot of impressions on your account, they give you some money. The equation is there. You don't have to think a lot. You don't even have to have that, you know, strong of a moral compass to put those two things together. And then you could be like, you know, Google Hassan Streamer, copy paste into Twitter on your blue check account and just type in, this is the most hypocrite streamer of all time. And then you post, and then, you know, you can pay your rent that month. Like, that is a genuine way to get interaction on social media, is just to be like a right-wing grifter. And if you can make money doing that, the more right-wing you are, the more you appeal to, like, this fringe of, like, hyper online people, the more money you can coincidentally make, on top of the way, you know, it's institutionally funded on, like, the level of Fox News. But what I'm saying is, like, the blue checkmark, like, weirdo bozos just grifting for money, saying whatever they can for impressions, are in a large part dominating Twitter as a platform, which is increasingly becoming used by right-wingers in the media. And so that is what they're consuming. And I think in their heads, America has shifted so far right. It's like 2016, like, liberals on MSNBC thought that the world was a lot like Twitter and everyone wanted a sweet, epic girl boss Hillary Clinton own, right-wingers are having that exact moment right now and being like, why everyone doesn't want like orange boss fascism? This is awesome. We're celebrating and you guys are ruining our fun. So we're now, we're going to attack you and call you slurs. And a big thing that's weighing them down is a lot of the, impression farm blue checkmark freaks think that like harassing people online in general. I mean, look at Libs of TikTok. They think that is praxis. Libs of TikTok has doxed people, random people working hourly wages at fucking Home Depot. She goes and finds their name, finds where they work, and gets them fucking fired if they post stuff she doesn't like. They think that's fucking praxis, man. They think that's like activism. Attacking and harassing and swarming people who have no real means to defend themselves. And people are fucking tired of it. It's infuriating me she hasn't been punished by the law. Yeah, Libs of TikTok's a fucking criminal. But Twitter is not fucking real life. And Twitter and its consequences of shifting so far to the right, I think, will ripple into reality because these guys have an actual effect. And their fucking narratives spinning out of control as they are huffing their own farts on social media 24/7. That's why they have no defense for being weird. They are weird. They're kind of way too online. At least Greg Gutfeld, at least the fucking writers, you can smell it. Laura Ingraham has that fucking vibe too. They have no defense for being fucking weird, because they are. Right-wing high-profile politicians are using Twitter and 4chan speech now. It's actually crazy. Yeah. I mean, the mass deportation shit is like, that's a 4chan wet dream. Crazy. It's insane that it's even like acceptable dialogue. I hope Kamala says something at the DNC about it. When she does her acceptance speech, I really hope she actually talks about the contrast between the Republican convention waving signs that said mass deportation, actually advocating for forcible relocation of, if not American citizens' families, loved ones, workers, like brave people that have made a journey and built a life here will be uprooted by a violent police state. One that we know is already out of control and unaccountable. That is a bloody future. Like, not even as a joke. An actual, like, violent future. And she has to hammer home that contrast.
Safe harbors.
No, I mean, come on, they wear robes. Like, we know they're not wearing anything underneath the robes.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
No, I think that we've got an exclusive.
I'll get back to you on that. How about that?
Yes, Angelo, good to see you as always. I assume that you have a closet full of skeletons, and I mean literally. Ew. Not like metaphorically. You have the bodies of dead people in your little house, probably underneath the floorboards.
That's wrong, Greg. I moved out of that apartment a few weeks ago. But I will say,
Jesus Christ, dude. What does he do before this show? Is it poppers? Is it coke? Is it meth? What does he do? Like, what are you huffing to make you react like this? Coke would make sense with the way he's like scrunching his face. Like, it's like he can't feel his own muscles or some shit.
I'll say, slanderous accusation. I'm in a 2-bedroom now.
Yeah, evil spirits trying to escape his body.
As a comedian and the owner of
Get out.
the largest American-made razor company, and available at westernrazor.com.
Thanks, man, for the fucking ad. Thanks for the ad for your shitty fucking American-made razors. I don't care, bitch.
You know,
this guy gives Matt Walsh vibes. They all do, because they're all the same. They're all elitist, fucking college-educated, liberal creeps with, I think, narcissistic tendencies in a lot of cases that want to like dominate politics for their own personal grievances.
Relationship with the word weird, it comes at me often.
Yes.
Yes. But it is interesting to see the pivot in the messaging, because
don't be rude.
Democrats, liberals in general, it used to be it's okay to be weird.
Right.
It's hey, everyone's different. It's kind of like they did this with
now they're
body
being bigoted.
shaming.
Yeah.
It was like, don't do body shaming, don't do body shaming. And then as soon as Trump got into office, they're like, look at his orange face.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look.
He's the president. Also, they said that way before he was president. They said that as he was running for president. As if Trump looks normal. I know. This is like the same shit you see, that's what's annoying. This is what annoying 14-year-old, wannabe Twitter leftists say. Like, oh, it's fat shaming when you say Trump is rotund and a big orb that eats nothing but McDonald's and well-done steak with ketchup. It's fat shaming. And it's like, man, yes, technically it is. It's woke scolding. But, like, Republicans do that as a joke because they're like, yeah, that's basically what liberals do. And it's like, no, man. No actual liberal who's not a hyper online loser like me, who's actually a leftist, but like, no actual liberal, especially not a voter, has any understanding of that kind of attitude. This is like a hypothetical, made up, fictional dream world. He also does look, this guy does look like logic. It's stating facts. What is? Saying that it's fat shaming to fat shame the president? Like, yeah, it is fat shaming to fat shame the president. Does that mean that it is bad to do? He's the president, and he's also an evil person, which, every U.S. president is. As a fat person, if you're rich and have access to good food and time to exercise, then yes, it's entirely your fault. I mean, it's different. Trump is fact is fact. Trump is fat is facts. 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 I view it as an extension of the social contract. You deserve respect and stuff when you operate within those bounds. And that's just so like, I'm sorry, it is vibes based. It is. It's hard to quantify that kind of stuff. But he's in a position of ultimate power as the United States president. So like, body shaming within certain boundaries, especially when he's as embarrassing as he is and as evil as he is, it's context. But you're also starting off, the starting point is a point of power and a point of privilege that no one is above. Only God. Anyway, how many women has he called fat? That's another part of it. He engages in fat shaming nonstop. He supports fat shaming. He's the fat shamer. He loves calling women fat. Donald Trump does. That's his favorite thing.
Look at Jeff Sessions. He's a Keebler elf.
Yeah.
They get off it. They got to stick to their message.
Yeah, it's true. Because the message only works when they can point it at somebody else.
And we got to remember what the message is. WesternRazor.com for American-made razors. So important. So important.
He's a fever dream.
Yeah, I guess the transitioning of girls to boys helps your company because you get more shavers.
We have razors for everybody.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. Wait, girls to boys. Wait, are you saying women don't use razors?
Girls to boys help. Yeah, I guess the transitioning of girls to boys helps your company because you get more shavers.
Yeah, women don't use razors. What a good joke. Women never shave. They're naturally hairless, like a Sphinx cat or whatever. That's right. Greg Gutfeld knows. You know.
We have razors for everybody.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, everybody. Morgan, don't you find it interesting? It's
Yeah,
like
sounds
you
like
can
DEI to me,
predict
bro.
what-
Everybody, yeah, sounds like inclusion. That's what the I stands for in DEI, inclusion. So, shut up. You're woke now. Canceled. Everyone cancel this razor company now. And then they get harassed and called pedophiles on Twitter. And they have to close their shaving company. That's how right-wingers operate, bro. That's literally how they work. This almost just happened. He dodged a bullet.
What the Dems are doing by what they accuse you of. It's always that way.
Well, it's also like it's obfuscating from what we should really be talking about this election, which is actually the price of goods for people to go to the grocery store, the price of gasoline, whether you're safe in your community or whether we're safe around the world. We just took 2 aircraft carriers out of the Pacific region, put them in CENTCOM because, our U.S. Navy ships are getting shot at. Troops are getting killed in Jordan from the Iranians. Like, we are in war in almost every theater in this country. But instead, it's actually really smart what the Democrats have done.
Oh, breaking news on Gutfeld's show. We're already at war with Iran. Holy fuck. I'm not vegetarian. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, by the way. She said our American soldiers, or our Navy soldiers, are being killed by the Iranians. We're at war at every theater in this country. What? All fronts, every front. Like, yes, we did move aircraft carriers to surround the Middle Eastern Peninsula. It's very bad that we're doing this, by the way. It's very, very bad. But it is for the, supposed... It's to threaten other countries not to attack Israel and to help intercept countries attacking Israel, supposedly, or attempting to. But it's warmonger shit. It's very bad. But yeah, she's like, we're already at war with Iran, so we have to actually, I guess, invade now. Boots on the ground, every theater. Sorry, New Zealand, you're next. Expect tactical strikes on civilian locations.
They're not talking about war around the world. They're talking about who's weird and who's not weird. I happen to think what's really weird is getting married on Tiananmen Square with the excuse that you want to remember your anniversary, because you always want to remember the anniversary of your wedding through a massacre.
Yes.
What?
It's ironic that he got married in China and goes there a lot, and he's not really a great wall.
Well,
You stole my joke. You stole my joke. I
didn't
said
know
this
that.
yesterday. Build the walls. Great walls. China Tim. That's next, man. Trump is watching Fox News all month instead of doing rallies. That's what he'll come back with. China Tim. He went to China 30 times. He loves China. Even though Trump says he loves China. Trump says all the time that he loves China. He's like, I love China. That's what he says.
I love that they applauded that.
I didn't know Tim Walz got married in Tiananmen Square.
Well, no, he got married on the anniversary because he wanted
on the
to
anniversary.
remember
I
his
went to
wedding
I went to
anniversary.
Tiananmen Square.
What? He happened to get married on the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, and she's like, yeah, he did that on purpose. Because he wanted to remember. I don't know if that's
Ethan,
true.
can we watch this instead?
No.
Square.
Really?
They want, yeah. Well, the tour guide, do you want to see Tiananmen Square? And I said, no, thanks. And, I just thought it was that,
Tyrus?
No, hold on. This is your fault. You need to write a letter to the millions and millions of people watching at home. They're like, what were they clapping? Your fault. All of it's your fault.
The great, not so great.
Not so great.
Yeah,
You're weird, Tyrus. You're weirdo.
No. You know what? We're all weird.
Yeah.
You look weird. It's you. Okay.
Yeah.
You flip the dictionary. It's Greg like, hi. So he's
am.
not weird at all. He's a creep.
Yeah.
Trump is famously not a creep. Guy who was friends with Epstein and, allegedly raped two 12-year-olds on Epstein's Island. Not a creep, according to Tyrus. Tim Walz is a creep, according to Tyrus. Did he flick his tongue like a snake? Did he?
Greg like, hi.
I didn't like that at all.
He couldn't have been too impressed with our capital. It looks like
he
shit.
is like a snake.
He's not weird at all. He's a creep.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being weird and creepy. And you can be weird all day long. Everyone wants to say, hey, it even sounds good. Hey, let's get weird this weekend. So, hey, let's get creepy this weekend. You don't get the same, oh, no cheer.
Weird.
Puppets. Pure puppets. But yeah,
what's going on?
What bothers me the most is the stuff that we're like the fake valor is bad enough, but
yeah, fake valor. They can't even say stolen valor because it's not. It's not at all. He earned all the ranks that he got. So it's fake valor. And that's fake Fantano.
When you have fake butter churning sculpting value, where do you go from there?
Yeah, they gotta fix the gas leak in the Gutfeld studio. Do they have mold on their walls behind all this fake paneling like J.K. Rowling?
Turns out he never did that.
He did?
He was just by it in like an Iowa thing. So I got people from the Midwest because I've actually been there.
Yeah.
I went to school there and I got people going, this dude ain't legit butter. He's not legit butter.
So he's not
just
really
had
a butter
fair.
carver?
No,
Wait,
there's no
Tyrus,
evidence.
I cannot believe it's not butter.
No, it's not. I went to school there and I got people going, this dude ain't legit butter.
He did?
He was just bad enough. But when you have fake butter churning sculpting value, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Turns out he never did that.
Wait, he's saying fake butter churning sculpting butter. He said butter churning sculpting value.
Sculpting value. Where do you have fake butter churning sculpting value? Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Turns out he never did that.
He did?
He was just by it in like an Iowa thing. What? So I got people from the Midwest because I've actually been there.
Yeah.
I went to school there and I got people going, this dude ain't legit butter. He's not legit butter.
So he's not really a butter carver?
No, there's no
Tyrus,
evidence.
I cannot believe it's not butter.
No, it's not.
And then they gotta turn off Greg's mic when he laughs. It's the loudest thing in the room. The gas leak has fucking derailed the entire show. But luckily, we brought it back home.
Every one of you that asked for a picture after the show.
Oh, we got to move on. That was fun, though. I have to say.
Yes, it was.
Weird.
Regular, sharp as a razor over there, bro. Just sharp as a razor.
Tyrus is mad because he fucked up everything he said. And then he fucking made a terrible joke and he took the whole spotlight. Stole his thunder. Made the audience clap by going, I can't believe it's not butter. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? He was saying Tim Walz actually didn't carve a butter statue. Not that it was fake butter. He just couldn't get his sentence out good. Oh, God. White demons, man. This whole Gutfeld episode was a fucking train wreck. What happened? They stole his value.
It'd be great if he really didn't sell razors at all. It was all. He just sells hats that say that.
Yeah.
Up next, Nancy finally explains why she took Joe's reins.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
Greg Gutfeld loves a good rhyme. He loves rhyming. If you rhyme, it's funny. Not the value. The Fox News and the right-wing media machine is just like melting down at trying to comprehend Tim Walz in general. So they're really just flailing. It's kind of embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, actually. It's not just Tim Walz, though, but it started with Kamala Harris. They couldn't combat anything from her. Potato King, yay, thank you for the tier 1, by the way. Thank you so much for that. But right-wingers have a hard time proving that they're normal in general, and I think they're getting really weird with it on purpose to like push their not weird agenda. This was a great example. This was literally yesterday. Ben Shapiro this is a British Army poster that says sexual harassment, call it out. This is no place for bullying, discrimination, or harassment in our army. And Ben Shapiro says, this was once an empire upon which the sun never set. Like, first of all, you're not even British. You're fucking American. What are you doing? Yeah, Ben Shapiro, not a big fan about the sexual harassment, anti-sexual harassment policies. He's actually pretty upset that they exist for some reason. Like what are you trying to get across here? I don't know why he would even post this. Leave this in the drafts, Ben. How? When everyone's calling you weird, you just like whip this out? 3.7k likes, Ben. From yesterday. 7 million followers almost. 3.7k likes. On him whining about a sexual harassment poster that he like saw on Reddit. He didn't fucking see this in real life. This isn't his picture. Very normal. Yeah, he's actually most angry about the race mixing. Very cool. By the way, I think the Republican messaging from Fox News is mostly coming from the cope that J.D. Vance initially had. This was August 2nd, and I mean, literally last night, Fox News is still repeating these same talking points to try to get some kind of one-up on the Democratic Party here.
It's funny. It's like the people who call me weird want to give like hormone therapies and sterilize 9-year-olds. Like I think it's a lot weirder than me just like living a normal life with my kids and my wife. But this is what they do. I think is they latch onto a message and they try to sell it even if it's fake. And I think again, to go back to something Trump said. We were talking about Trump earlier, is Trump's superpower in politics is he just doesn't give a shit. right? He doesn't care what they say about him. He's going to be himself. He's going to tell jokes. He's going to say things that drive some people off a wall, but then when you actually listen to what he said, he's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that you just,
No, you're just
if
not
you're gonna
listening.
be in politics in the social media age, you've got to kind of have a thick skin and just do what you need to do. It's funny. It's like the people who call me weird want to give like hormone therapy.
He has no follow-up. He's just like, what is he talking about after this? He's just rambling. He's like, well, no one actually listens to Trump. Sometimes he sounds a little, not crazy, but like, you know, gets people riled up.
He's going to be himself.
What did he even
He's going
say?
to tell jokes. He's going to say things that drive some people
Yeah.
off a wall, but then when you
Drive
actually
some
listen to
people
what
off a wall, but you know, you have to actually listen. You know, just like him, he once thought Trump was Hitler, and then he, I guess, listened and was like, you know, Hitler's not so bad. Maybe I should work for him. Many such cases, I guess. More normal Republicans. More normal.
Celebrate these. Stand up, the veterans in this room. Celebrate these. Every person who has served this country.
Why
we
is he
thank
sitting
you.
like that? I don't know.
You stood for this country, and we will stand behind you.
Yeah, Vivek. Yeah, you'll stand behind him.
And I got to tell you something. We're not just doing it for your sake. We're doing it for the sake of future generations because we have a 25% recruitment deficit in our own U.S. military right
Dude, look at what he's wearing.
now. Ask yourself why.
Brought to you
Young
by what,
people, look,
Toyota?
this is the way
What?
we treat our veterans. Why on earth would I actually want to make
He's
that
such a corpo, dude. He's literally a suit. It's so crazy how far Vivek Ramaswamy has gotten grifting into the Republican Party when he is literally a corporate, like, entity. He's a corporate agent. He could not be more corporate. That outfit is cultural appropriation. Yeah, it's actually triggering me.
sacrifice in the first place. DEI is a big part of it. You
Oh
actually
yeah,
get
it's
indoctrinated
DEI.
with
Did any of these? None of these companies though did DEI. Ted Cruz, Johnson and Johnson. What? ConocoPhillips? Isn't that a? What is that? Yeah, it's a fucking. I knew it. Guess who they're sponsored by? Not just Toyota, Ted Cruz, Johnson and Johnson, even though, you know, he was like a anti-big pharma guy. I guess that's fine now. The vaccine was actually good and not woke. And ConocoPhillips. We explore for, develop, and produce crude oil and natural gas globally. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, just a fossil fuel company. I'm glad that, like, the American conscience has completely forgotten how corrupt fossil fuel interests are, how destructive they are for Americans. Like, I feel like there was at least some general sense of that at one point. And now it's just open, fully out in the open, like, yeah, no, brought to you by the fossil fuel interests. Brought to you by Shell. Vivek Ramaswamy. Here you go.
anti-American dogmas when you're serving your country. Young people aren't inspired to do that anymore. So one of the things we need to do, there's basic changes we can make.
Yeah, they're definitely not globalists. And it's, yeah, dude, like, no, you're globalists. You just want the globe to be under you.
Think about even decompression buffers. People who leave combat before coming back to civilian life get paid for 6-week, even 2 to 3 month periods. That brings down the rates of PTSD and other mental health disorders.
Cowboy hat. I don't know. Maybe they're giving them away at this event. It looks like it. There's a bunch of them in the room. They're all clean as fuck.
We could be doing that today in a way that
I know, dude.
we're actually not. Basic workforce and reintegration training. So these are the kinds of things that shouldn't be partisan. Basic changes to the VA. I come from the world of business. Well, in a world of business, the shareholders decide.
We love corporations, don't we, folks? We love them.
How the CEO is paid and compensated. I think we need to treat our veterans like the actual shareholders of the VA who can hold the bureaucrats accountable back to taking care of our own. That's not a Democrat idea or a Republican idea. These are American ideals, and I promise you, whatever role I have, right, whether we were talking about it from the legislative branch or a executive branch, Donald Trump and I are going to be working together to save this country, and for me, and I know for him, finally standing for our veterans is a priority, not just for our veterans, but for the sake of setting an example for future generations in this country. So thank you for asking that question.
Bro, what is Elon Musk posting? My head is gonna explode, chat. First of all, Vivek, very normal, you know, wearing a normal outfit as a normal guy.
Whatever.
Just your average guy. Speaking of your average guy, you watched The Hunger Games and sided with the Resistance. You watched Star Wars and sided with the Resistance. You watched The Matrix and sided with the Resistance. You watched Divergent and sided with the Resistance. You watched V for Vendetta and sided with the Resistance. When it's fiction, you understand, yet you refuse to see it when it's the reality you're living in. Wild. You have to understand, chat. Billionaires are not the resistance, first of all. But second of all, he is literally in divorce court right now. Literally having a custody battle for his children and is posting this in the fucking interim. This is what he's doing in and out of the courtroom. So embarrassing, dude. He was already like this. He's just a divorced father. Facebook posting. Live tweeting from divorce court. Like, how? And then he's just like, yeah, I'm being oppressed right now. I want the resistance. Where's my resistance? Where's the resistance from my wife taking my kids? Laura Ingraham on, what is wrong with Governor Walz? Do you guys think it's going to be some insane trans panic that already lost them an entire election, by the way? It lost them the 2022 midterms, hinging on this trans panic narrative. But let's see them quadruple down on it. 4-time champion, 4 years in a row, Republican Party never shutting the fuck up about trans people. Let's see how people respond to it.
First, rank dishonesty. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
Oh, is it the fucking military shit?
The
Oh
Tim
my
Walz
god.
stolen valor controversy made me remember
It's not
one
the
of
trans
those
panic.
old New England
No, it's stolen valor. Okay, they just don't care at all.
expressions my mom used to say. Watch what you say, she would say. You don't want to leave people with the wrong
Laura Ingraham knows a lot about the military, all right, first of all. She knows everything about the military and knows more than you and your dad and knows more than Tim Walz, and she's going to correct the record.
impression.
She is.
Well, it was assumed that leaving the wrong impression is nothing anyone would ever want to do. But in the Minnesota governor's case, it appears that leaving the wrong impression was actually Walz's intention. Because the wrong impression, words highlighted and omitted, made him stand out politically. First is how he hyped up his upcoming deployment to Iraq, only to retire before he got his official deployment orders. When he announced he was running for Congress, he made a big deal of the deployment, saying as Command Sergeant Major, I have a responsibility not only to ready my battalion for Iraq, but also called to serve if called upon.
This was when he was debating running for office. Like, it just says Tim Walz statement press release. There's like no context. Just a random quote.
And then this. I don't want to speculate on what shape my campaign will take if I'm deployed, but I have no plans to drop out of the race. I am fortunate to have a strong group of enthusiastic supporters and a very dedicated and intelligent wife. Both will be a major part of my campaign, whether I'm in Minnesota or Iraq. But then it was so much for the
Dowito
if I'm
Elden Ring
deployed.
later. Ok tua pipi pupua wio you poyer wio oaziu.
I don't think I'm gonna do Elden Ring today, but I'll do Metal Gear tomorrow and then Elden Ring tomorrow if we have time.
Part of it because on May 16th, 2005, he retired with the rank of Master Sergeant. 2 months
He was
later,
like Master Chief, dude. Master Chief Walz. You're gonna say that's not awesome?
his former battalion gets their official deployment orders, and the following March, they're shipped off to Iraq. Now, even though he had the right, of course, to retire after 20 years, that obviously left a very bad taste in the mouths of some of his fellow guardsmen, including Thomas.
Just such a fake point. Isn't Walz a Zionist? Every Democratic Party politician is a Zionist. But if you were to ask him that point blank, I think his answer would be very different than, for example, Joe Biden, who says, yes, I am a Zionist, Israel is perfect and can do no wrong. Even Sanders? Yeah. Yeah, even Bernie Sanders. Oh, yeah. He's worse than Walz, honestly.
Miss Barons, who took Walz's place.
He's used the rank that he never achieved in order to advance his political career. He's done it for decades now. He still says he's a retired command sergeant.
Support for Israel in the United States is bipartisan. It's not like a party issue. No, it's a uniparty when it comes to most, if not all, foreign policy.
Major to this day, and he's not. I would say, from what I get from the soldiers that I went to Iraq with, probably 98% of them are, completely against him embellishing his record.
Although Walz, of course, had earned his retirement, he didn't earn the right to leave people believing that he had been on the war front in Iraq or Afghanistan, or that he had retired as a command sergeant major.
What? He shouldn't have led people to believe he was going to be deployed, even though he thought he was going to be. And then he retired, and then he wasn't. But because people once thought it, that's bad. They believed it once 20 years ago. And he, I guess, used the wrong label. He should have been Master Chief, not Master Sergeant Chief.
But that's precisely what he did. When his fellow soldiers were getting shot at, he was stateside, misstating his rank during his campaign.
Retired Command Sergeant Major in the Guard.
Oh, wow, that's so funny, dude. They found him using, like, a wrong rank or something. Spread falsehood about his rank for years. That's so funny. It was a rank he actually held, but didn't, I think, qualify to retire under. I think that's the thing. Yeah, pronouns don't make any sense to these guys, but, it's a soldier rank. You gotta know which one's which and know how he's lying about it.
Rank during his campaign.
Retired Command Sergeant Major in the Guard. I'm from Mankato. I teach at West High School.
And he continued to misstate his rank. This is 3 years later.
As a 24-year veteran of the National Guard and the Red Bull Division and a retired Command Sergeant Major, I'm especially proud of you.
And he continued to ride the falsehood to the next year, 2010.
She's so
Mr. Speaker, I yield 30 seconds to the gentleman from Minnesota. The highest ranking enlisted soldier ever to serve in the United States Congress, Command Sergeant Major Tim Walz.
Even if he wasn't necessarily Command Sergeant Major or whatever, the highest rank ever to serve in Congress is still true. So that's more impressive to people anyway. You're allowed to call yourself by the highest rank you achieved? Yeah, I know. Not to Laura Ingraham, though, and this is fucked up. He should actually be sued and drop out, and Joe Biden should run instead. That's what they want. That's their point. That's their final conclusion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I thank the gentleman for this. Greatest privilege I've had in my life was serving this nation for almost
Ranks
25
are like
years in
xenogenders?
uniform.
Yeah, they are.
Now, why wouldn't he just have said, thank you to my friend from Pennsylvania, but a gentle correction. I retired as a sergeant major. Well, I bet he would have corrected him if he had demoted him in that introduction.
Wait, sergeant major instead of sergeant major general?
Thank you to my friend from Pennsylvania.
5 years, and gentleman for this.
Sir, 30 seconds to the gentleman from Minnesota. The highest ranking enlisted soldier ever to serve in the United States Congress, Command Sergeant Major Tim Walz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Years and
A gentle correction. I retired as a sergeant major.
Not command sergeant major. Sergeant major. Not command sergeant major. Is that her point? Rank dishonesty. He lied. Why didn't he say a gentle correction? First of all, I retired sergeant major.
Well, I bet he would have corrected him if he had demoted him in that introduction. Now, even the Washington Post couldn't spin this rank
What? I
misdirect.
bet he would have said something different if he said something different. Yeah, probably. I bet if he had legs, I bet if he had wheels, he would be a bike. You know, that classic bit.
For Walz.
He did serve for a time as a command sergeant major. He did not hold that rank long enough before retiring and did not complete all of the necessary coursework to retire.
He didn't do all the homework.
As a command sergeant major. So he reverts back to his previous rank. So when you hear these things like, oh, he's a retired command sergeant major, the Minnesota National Guard has pretty much put that to rest.
Yeah, they said he retired not as a command sergeant major. But
He's just sergeant major. She's not saying it like that, you'll notice. She's not saying the two terms in the same sentence to say, you know, don't say this instead. She's, you know, saying he's not command sergeant major. He's not command sergeant major, which is technically not a lie. She's not saying what he is, which is sergeant major. So that makes it look worse. It's deliberate. It's a one-word difference. Yeah, but to the guy who's just listening in the background and doesn't, you know, doesn't think too hard and doesn't replay it like I do, to most Fox News viewers, they don't hear it back to back like that. Since they skip all the major points, they only have stupid, meaningless things to talk about. They don't have any policy to actually combat. They don't know how to say that feeding kids is bad without looking like ghouls.
misrepresentation carried through to another easily verified fact, where he actually served, which was in Italy, not Afghanistan.
I spent 24 years in the National Guard, some of that full time. I was an artilleryman. I deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. My battalion provided base security throughout the European theater from Turkey to England in the early stages of the war in Afghanistan. And that same battalion is now in Iraq at this time.
Well, this was supposed to be somehow clarifying, but they were kind of classic liberal weasel words.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is. Yes.
Well, again, the Post couldn't help him out.
On the issue of being at war, those comments that he made at a campaign event, it read to me like he was speaking fast, and said that he was at war with those weapons of war, as he put it. He deployed to Italy. There's no dispute on that. So the question becomes, why did he say that? That appears to be a misstatement.
What is wrong with Walz? Serving in the military for 24 years in any capacity is laudable. It has to be one of two things, therefore. He's either imagined himself in Baghdad or Kandahar getting all the prestige of being the command sergeant major, or he wanted to burnish his record as some battle-hardened tough guy to boost his political future.
Shut up about NATO. Yeah, I know. It's so annoying, dude. Do Fox News viewers even care about this? Do you think this is playing to anyone? No. No one cares about this. The stolen valor stuff, like, even if you, like, there are veterans that actually understand the way it works. It's just stupid. No one cares. Literally no one cares. They're misunderstanding what he said. No, they're just being dishonest.
All of this speaks volumes, not just about him, but about the Harris campaign. Because this is what happens when you pass over the obvious and better candidate, who everyone knows, Josh Shapiro, and go with a relative unknown and an unvetted.
They're complaining about. Oh my God, I can't believe she's whining about them not picking Josh Shapiro. I can't believe this. Well, why didn't they pick someone else? They should have picked someone else. It's like condescending, as if like that's good advice. It's bad advice. They had so many points ready for him. They were so ready. Oh, that's so sick. That's the entire media, Trump's entire campaign. That might be why he's taking a fucking month off. God damn. I mean, they wanted him.
Who everyone knows, Josh Shapiro, and go with a relative unknown and an unvetted person like Twisted Tim. And instead of explaining himself on all of this weird stuff, Walz does what his running.
They're trying. Twisted Tim. That makes him sound fucking awesome. Twisted Tim. Yo, what up, Twisted Tim? Time to get twisted.
Mate does. He just avoids questions and has other flacks do his bidding.
He could have retired from the National Guard after 20 years. 9/11 happened at that time. Eventually, the Iraq War happened, and he stayed in the military.
Come on.
At the point of 24 years and whatever months, he made the decision to retire, again, as is his right. This is a completely unfair attack.
And now, because they didn't have a real primary to replace Biden,
and he was still in the military.
They're stuck with Kamala,
That's awesome.
and they're stuck with him. And they're really in a jam. They are stuck with a candidate who's been faking it for years. Just what we need. Another politician who can't manage or address a problem or a difficult situation. Maybe they'll try to get Eric Holder to fix it for him, but how weak is that? This entire ticket is a con job. America is supposed to rally for a guy because he's from rural America and served in the Guard? The man even felt the need to give the false impression about his coaching position.
Twisted Tim sounds like a name I'd make up for the Twisted Metal Clown.
Former high school football players, he was coach. Coach.
Well, the truth, he was the
Calling
assistant.
him coach, I think, is actually really smart. They haven't really harped on it much, but having a VP that you call like Coach Walz, I think is powerful as fuck. That is so like down to earth. It's the opposite of elitist. It makes Trump and his weird like Mar-a-Lago fake White House ghoul castle like type weird shit. It makes all this like military nerd like he's actually commanding sergeant general, like you gotta call him the right rank. It makes that look stupid. He's Coach Walz. Like that is a role that he has a lot of pride in as well because he won a state championship for the high school he taught at, which is a big deal where he's from. It's a big deal in the Midwest in general.
Coach. The country knows Donald Trump, and the press will certainly do everything it can to vet J.D. Vance. But the Democrats are asking the country, the entire nation, to put its faith in two people who have never been vetted and who have no intention of answering any real questions until after the election. By his own words, his own admissions, Tim Walz misled the voters into thinking he was in combat and retired at the highest rank of commissioned officers. That's a strange level of deception for a supposedly folksy, sweet guy from the country. And now every American should be asking, if Harris and the Democrats lied about Walz,
awesome.
What else are they lying about?
Yes.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
I love that. If they're lying about something completely different, they could be lying about other unrelated, entirely different
This is
things.
a genuine question, but like is it really worth it to potentially put down plus 6 people or others' physical appearance in order to like make fun of weird conservative? I'm not trying to be mean or like be weird, but as a plus-sized person some things you say in your videos or streams feel like they kinda misfire at normal fat people. Pause.
I try not to say like generalizations and stuff, but like I don't know, the most fatphobic opinion I have is that like is my takes on cops, to be honest. where that's just like cops are fat because they're overpaid. That's like a direct correlation. They're overpaid and underworked. They need to be picking up trash on the side of the road. Like, they don't do anything. They sit in air-conditioned cars all day. That's literally like a systemic problem. It's not even a generalization. And I try not to get like specific into stuff like that with like talking about like the fat part. It's the, you know, conditions. But when I'm talking about like Trump, I'm usually in praise of his beautiful form. Like, you guys remember the tennis picture? No, not tennis shoes. Wait, is he still selling the Trump sneakers? Oh no, they're sold out. Bitcoin. Whoa! Whoa! Wait. Bitcoin Trump sneakers? I didn't know they had those. $500. Trump crypto president. What the fuck? This is not a final design, by the way. This is Photoshop. These are fake as fuck. Holy, what do they actually look like? $500 and they don't even give you a real picture of what it is. That's nuts. Trump Bitcoin shoes. Does anyone have them yet? CoinDesk? Are they real? Or are they NFT shoes? You can use in Metaverse. Yeah, this is, I guess, the Bitcoin conference exclusives. What do they actually look like, though? No one actually has them. This is crazy. Bitcoin shoes. Honestly, a good investment. Good investment to try to flip. What the fuck am I looking at? Trump had crypto sneakers in Bitcoin orange, which was not a color I thought existed, but you know. Trump has lost, dude, he's like lost so much swag. He's lost so much. Like, what is this, dude? He's trying to sell so many sneakers now. I thought, GoFundMe. Oh, for Corey Comparatori's family. He's going to give all of his family a little kissy. Just like he did his fireman's jacket that was spelled wrong. Bitcoin orange is replacing regular orange in the Crayola 8-pack of crayons. That's what Project 2025 is going to do. The bottom of the shoes is a waste. They could have made it so much cooler. Oh, come on, man. Not on the Trump shoes. Oh, I was talking about... Trump's beautiful
Couldn't have been too
form.
impressed with our capital. It looks like shit.
His holy visage. There's a higher resolution picture. This makes it look old. God, they put that's so funny. They put the watermark right on his dumpy. They knew what they were doing, bro. They're censoring the goods. They said, you gotta pay for this, man. You gotta pay to see this. Getty. Yo! That's a fake image, but still. It's not his diaper, man. It's just his big booty. He's just shaped so special. Yeah, that's just a close-up of his nipples. It's awesome. He don't play tennis anymore. This was like early in his presidency, in the first years, right? Or is this old? Is this even older? It might be, actually. It might be even older. Anyway. Oh. Why is he touching his groin? Anyway. Do you think the Trump campaign would have been different if he would have been doing better if he chose a different VP? Yeah. Yeah, a big part of the momentum that he lost is that he picked the first VP to ever have negative approval rating. He also tried to milk getting shot, which I think is not helping him at all. Do you think the Trump campaign would have been different? Oh, would Vivek have rallied a corporate base he's missing now? No, Vivek is not. Vivek was never an option, and the fact that the Republican Party was trying to like prop him up, I feel like was more. He's like an experiment, you know. He's like pushing the boundaries of how brown you can be while also being a Republican Party operative that is very annoying and like on TV all the time. What'd you say? Oh. This guy, on the other hand, listening to Worm. What is it? Look how conservatives responded to JD's wife. Yeah. Trump's only winning option was Nikki Haley, and I think he burnt bridges with her during the primary. I don't think he liked her personally, when electorally I think she was his chance to win. She did well with liberals. She did well in the suburbs. She did well against Biden, and that's all that mattered. That's all that mattered, and I think she would at least be a stabilizing force in the Trump campaign against Kamala Harris once that switch inevitably happened. But at the same time, running a woman on a, potential abortion ban ticket, or at least something that will be marketed by Democrats as an abortion ban ticket, it's an uphill battle. But regardless, the fact that they're still running on an abortion ban ticket is still an uphill battle. So I think they still should have they should have gone with Nikki Haley. That's my point. That was their only winning option that didn't either stagnate the campaign or actually hurt the campaign. I think everything else was just mid. Ron DeSantis would have been better than JD Vance, though. It would have at least had the name recognition and the conservative clout, but he's listening to the Worm. They should Pokemon battle for the presidency. They should Pokemon battle to the polls. Let's see. Gutfeld says this is indefensible. I'm sure it's something actually really normal. I'm sure it's going to be normal. Everything will be normal. More Buttfeld. I'm so excited for him to be normal.
Yeah.
Raucous, raucous.
I don't know what you're expecting. Oh boy. Happy Thursday, everyone. It's now been 18 days since Kamala Harris became the Democrat nominee, but she still hasn't held a press conference. Why is she ducking the media? Staffers blame some of the delay.
This is that other narrative I was talking about yesterday. Acting like she's ducking interviews or something. Like, why isn't she talking to the media? Hawk to it to the media. Come on. She can't answer questions. It's like they're all going to look so stupid, and they're going to have another, back against the wall moment, run out of talking points when she actually does a sit-down interview, which I think is soon. Probably before the end of the month. If not before the debate, for sure. So, it's just a matter of time before this talking point just expires. It's stalling for time. Talking point.
The fact that English
Filler.
is her second language.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Meanwhile, Kamala's VP, Tim Walz, is being accused of lying about his rank, which is called stolen valor.
Hell
but
yeah,
in Walz's
dude.
defense
This is all they have.
in Minneapolis, stealing is legal.
Yeah, dude. 4 years ago, do you remember that? 4 years ago, this happened. Do you remember?
But misrepresenting your past for political gain? I don't see that as a problem, said one woman.
What?
But even CNN A reporter delivered a devastating fact check on Walz's claims.
Notice
about
how that picture was not a real picture and instead a photoshopped image.
military service. And you know what
Love
they
that.
say? When you've lost CNN, thank your cable provider. Meanwhile, Harris has added Walz to her website, but still hasn't added a single policy. In her defense, she thinks a website is where spiders meet for sex. But she did at least post her new campaign slogan.
Yeah, man. Kamala Harris doesn't know what website is. She doesn't actually know. What? What was? The white one? Let me see. Sorry, chat. I mean, I didn't.
But you like cleaned this whole area, but
Yeah.
it got misplaced.
I would have kept it with other stuff. There's still some in a plastic bag. In this one, yeah. You want to use mine? Oh. Sorry, chat. Lex was looking for something. I was trying to be helpful. Here, I'm gonna pee actually too. I'll be right back. Oh.
That's your.
I thought my audio had a problem, but it was actually just how silent the audience was as a result of Greg Gutfeld's failed joke. That was crazy. Dude.
Slogan. But she did at least post her new campaign slogan.
You're flicked. Oh, only real sex havers will get that one. You're flicked. Wow.
That's your flicked. See? That's how you get around things. The Harris Walz campaign has apparently made $1 million selling camo hats. Evidently, most of the caps were sold to staffers who don't want to be seen when standing next to Kamala. President Biden said he's not confident at all in a peaceful transfer of power if Trump loses the election. He would have said more, but then he saw the nurse that he swears is taking money out of his wallet. The pretzel snack chain Auntie Anne's is now releasing a buttery dough-scented perfume. However, there is a warning on the bottle that reads, "Do not wear around this man." All right, let's do a monologue. So we're finding out that much like a monkey's cage, Tim Walz is full of crap. Because unlike the Harris campaign, people are actually vetting him, especially the vet part. And he's about to become unburdened of the biggest highlight on his resume, meaning his military service with the Army National Guard. As noted by the Washington Free Beacon, when Walz first ran for Congress in 2006, his campaign described him as a veteran of
Lex, please save us. I am going to cry. We
which
need you,
typically
Lex.
applies
Please,
to
Lex,
someone who
please,
served
Lex,
on the
please.
ground in Afghanistan during the War on Terror. But for him, it was more like Operation Enjoying Freedom.
Wow. Operation Enjoying Freedom is what he was doing, not enduring freedom. Yeah, they were begging for legs. It was bad. It was bad. I heard it. You waste your channel points. Gutfeld isn't even
Don't
going
be rude.
yet. Dude, his face is crazy right here. His neck is sagging. Old frog. That's what he looks like, an old frog. How has it only been 3 minutes? I know, that's the craziest part. Okay. Goodbye.
In Italy, not Afghanistan. Here he is in 2007 after he was elected to Congress talking about his time during that operation.
I spent 24 years in the National Guard, some of that full time. I was an artilleryman. I deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. My battalion provided base security throughout the European theater from Turkey to England in the early stages of the war in Afghanistan. And that same battalion is now in Iraq at this time.
Now, it sounds like he was a lot closer to the battlefield than he actually might be. He wasn't.
Well, yeah, if you don't listen to it and don't actually, like... I'm sorry. Well, it sounds like you're closer than you actually were, but that's not what he fucking said. That's insane.
In fact, deployed to a base in Italy. He wasn't taking live fire in Operation Enduring Freedom. It was more like Operation Enduring Pasta.
He said from Turkey to England, and he's like, well, that he didn't say Italy. Yeah, what the fuck is in the middle of those two things, you idiot?
Brian.
Enduring pasta. Enjoying freedom.
And in 2009, a local veteran went to his Minnesota office and asked the staffer if it's possible to mistakenly assume that he served in Afghanistan based on his website bio. And the staffer said, perhaps. So the vet suggests, hey, maybe you should change it.
The staffer said, perhaps. This is definitely a definitely real story.
To say that Walz served in Italy instead, but Walz's office did nothing. Though they did offer the vet a case of military-grade tampons.
Wow. I forgot what I was doing on the side. I was checking Kamala Harris's website, her campaign website, to see if there's any policies yet. There aren't. But the campaign literally started like a week ago, so it's okay.
Then there's the two fellow National Guardsmen who said in 2022 that Walz reached the rank of Command Sergeant Major but didn't complete the coursework to maintain that rank before he retired at a lower rank, which the Minnesota National Guard confirmed. Yet even on his own website, he still calls himself Command Sergeant Major. Apparently his resume has more padding than Joy Behar's toilet seat.
His resume has more padding. It's one word, bro. No one cares.
So, did he lie about his rank to
and
fuel his
shit.
political aspirations just as he managed to avoid a war? Does it matter? When your job is to lead young men in battle, but your desire to dine with Barack and Michelle matters more, you probably had no business leading anyone to begin
He
with.
was the chairman of the Veteran Affairs Committee in Congress. That's such bullshit. That's ridiculous. You can't be like, well, he just wanted to have a dinner with Barack and Michelle, like every congressperson gets to do. Like, what the fuck? He's serving in the House of Representatives, not the Senate.
And yet the Harris campaign just posted this video of Walz
Barack
talking
Hussein
about how
Obama.
the weapons he carried
Michelle
in war
Hussein
shouldn't be
Obama.
allowed anywhere but the battlefield.
I spent 25 years in the Army, and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
Next, he'll tell us he used his bayonet to do butter carving. But if Tim Walz said we should...
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. How? He's so unfunny. Did he get turned down by every woman on The View? He hates them an unsettling amount. I think it's because he doesn't have like a real job, so all he does during the day is have daytime TV on, and he always sees Joy Behar and shit.
We should ban the very weapons he carried in
How
war.
are you this bad on your own show? I know, dude. It's like a bit in and of itself. So bad.
He didn't carry any weapons.
They just don't get it.
Doesn't that mean we can keep all of our weapons? Great. I want an Abrams tank.
I don't think Greg Gutfeld owns any weapons personally, and he shouldn't. He should not have, in an ideal world, he would be denied his application for a license to purchase and own a firearm. And if he had one, his yearly exam that he has to take to maintain that firearm in this ideal world would prove him eventually incapable of owning a weapon. That's my dream world. Due to mental instability.
Again, he's never been to a war zone unless you count his state during the George Floyd riots. In reality, when his unit got called for deployment to Iraq after he'd been appointed to acting senior enlisted leader, he bailed to run for Congress. But now even CNN is calling him out.
Walz did make a comment, speaking to a group, he's done it a couple of times, where he has used language that has suggested that he carried weapons in a fighting situation. There is a difference between being in a combat area, being involved at a time of war, and actually being in a position where people are shooting at you. There is no evidence that at any time Governor Walz was in a position of being shot at.
By the way,
and some of his language could easily be...
I knew that fucking brave, intellectual, independent, free thinker Awaken with JP would be parroting, regurgitating, deep-throating fucking Rupert Murdoch's elderly cock, fucking Hawk-Tua-ing Fox News talking points. Fucking brave free thinker, radical centrist, brainwashing you with Kamala's very diverse VP pick. This is so awesome, bro. Tampon Tim. Normal.
Tim Walz is our guy. Who doesn't like to enjoy a little horse semen?
Yes! They're so normal. So normal.
Good evening and welcome to We Live Sigma.
What is the whole horse semen thing about? I am gifted in the fact that I do not know, because A, it doesn't matter, only freaks give a shit about it, and it's weird. It's not a fucking real thing. I think they're just calling him a hick, but there might be more to it. I don't know. I think they're just making it up because they're mad about the fact that JD Vance did fuck a couch. I'm pretty sure he did it. Damn it. He didn't. I thought it was in the biography, but it's not. It's okay though. I'm still gonna make jokes about it. He looks like a man who would fuck a couch, and what we say where I'm from is hurt dogs holler. If he looks like a couch fucker, if he acts like a couch fucker, that man's probably a couch fucker. So I think the horse cum thing is like a very normal narrative from conservatives to combat that. Anyway.
I2 News. Our top stories tonight. The least popular vice president in history, who is now the most popular presidential candidate in history, because that somehow adds up.
Oh, yes, we're starting the conspiracy early. What people are excited for a candidate that, no one ever expected to be in the position to run for president. Someone that actually polled well against Donald Trump in the 2019 primary, something that even Democrats sometimes like to forget. I thought the horse thing was a reference to Vosh. No. No, this guy doesn't know what a Vosh is. I barely know what a Vosh is. And I regretfully do.
Has had her running mate chosen for her, along with
Kamala. Oh, that's so awesome! Chosen for her by? He'll let you figure out that one.
Influencers to pretend they like her, which is better than nobody pretending. The UK is locking citizens up for social media posts. About damn time. The UK is also in a civil war right now, and if a civil war ever broke out between men and women, it appears as though men would win.
Is he calling the Nazi riots in the UK a civil war? Bro, they don't have guns like that, man. Like... The UK, to a degree proportional to America, can, if it wanted to, just occupy the streets with the military and quell any kind of protest they wanted. Like, it's not, civil war is not a real possibility with the kind of militaries that exist today on that kind of scale. Like, that's crazy. In, like, the Imperial Corps, you know what I mean? That's like insane. That's why it's always stupid when people say you gotta, like, right to bear arms, rise up against a totalitarian government, brother. It's like we're well beyond that point. And also we're outgunned no matter what. Especially with automation and drones, we're outgunned indefinitely. The working class is permanently outgunned by capital owners. That's how it works. Yeah, you get AI targeted drone striked in your house like they do to Gazans, Palestinians in Gaza. It's literally what they were fucking doing. I'm not joking.
As evidenced by women's boxing in the Olympics. All these stories and more, including a special report on Tim Walz by We Lied to You News far middle radical centrist correspondent.
I dropped my thing. Sorry. Stick bug fucking scared me, bro. That was not a good one. You fucked me up. Can't stand to see his face. Yeah, cover that shit. Anyway. Listen. I think a good way to figure out pretty decisively whether or not someone has recently heard of Tim Walz is if they call him Tim Walz. It's very subtle and it's easy to do. I do it on accident sometimes, but I try to correct myself and I try to consistently say walls. That's why I make why I make the joke build the walls. It makes it literally easier for me to remember in my head. Great walls, you know. Beep poo poo. Beep beep poo poo. How does this man look? More and more like an actual caveman in a suit every time I see him, like those old Geico commercials. The hair on the top of his head's gotten like real like matted and weird. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing at all. Balls to the walls. Yeah. He's a cave dweller. Literally the Encino Man. He's so mentally unwell. Yeah, he is. He is.
Then Brent Pella. But first, the Democrat Party, who prides itself on being the party of diversity, has selected its vice presidential candidate, an old white man.
Is he gonna do the anti-Semitism stuff? Oh my god, right-wingers are making me lose my mind. First of all, this guy literally just repeats Fox News, and I think it's so fucking funny. It's so funny that you could just literally repeat what Fox News says and, like, get whatever kind of views you want off of Facebook and Twitter now and YouTube. It's awesome. Thank you.
Tim Walz, aka
Waltz.
Tim.
Oh, my point. Tampon Tim, dude. My point about if you say Tim Walz, he's saying it multiple times. I think that means that he literally thinks that his name is Tim Walz because he's never heard of the name Walz before, which many people haven't before this, and are, you know, assuming that it is the more likely name. He doesn't know anything about him, so that's why he's mainly just relying on the Fox News shit. He's talking out of his ass. That's why he's not even getting his name right. It's another signal. And I think this, combined with the way Trump is saying, like, Kamala Harris. He's saying her name wrong on purpose. And this, again, I said this when we were listening to Trump do this. This is setting themselves up to be corrected publicly. Setting themselves up to be owned and look like disrespectful assholes that can't even look their opponents in the eye and say their names right. What's the thing with the tampons? He put tampons in public school bathrooms. Oh no! These children should have to pay for those and not be told where they belong. Figure it out. But it's a good thing. Right-wingers hate good things. That's a really great tip. Pro tip for American politics. Republicans and the right in general hate good things. And they really like bad things. Like, name any of their policies and I guarantee you it is them promoting a really bad thing. Or, you know, trying to destroy a good thing. And no, that's not even subjective.
Presidential candidate, an old white man, Tim Walz.
Old white man, yeah, he's not diverse enough. Does this guy remember the Obama ticket? Like, it's the same strategy. Americans like the idea of a balanced ticket because they don't really, you know... It's aesthetics. It's aesthetics. It's aesthetics. They don't care. Americans don't care. It's aesthetics. It might be cynical, but it's true.
AKA Tampon Tim. Tampons are also white. Until they're not. In the Democratic tradition of Kamala having zero people vote for her to be the candidate, Tim received the exact same number of votes, making him truly the candidate of the people.
What? We should have voted for the vice president. Does he know how this works? Does he know anything? This is awesome.
And if you're like most people that aren't Tim Walz's wife or police officers arresting him for a DUI.
Awesome. Yeah, Republicans no Republican's ever been arrested for a DUI. No Republican voter has ever been arrested for a DUI. No fucking Awaken with JP viewer has ever been arrested for a DUI. For sure, man. Yeah. Totally.
Or in his
That photo's older than me. Yeah, this is from like the 70s, isn't it? It's old as fuck. It might be the 90s. Tim Walz is old. And he's never drinking. He's stayed sober since this. He doesn't drink. 96. Yeah, I said 70s, and then I was like, no, he's not that old. Yeah, 1995. Yeah, he's going to make DUIs actually legal. He's going to make it illegal to arrest people for DUIs, and cops are going to start getting arrested.
military battalion that he abandoned so he didn't have to go to Iraq. You might not know who Tim Walz is. Well,
and it's so awesome. He abandoned them to work on the fucking Veteran Affairs Committee as a veteran. He abandoned the American military by working for the American military in Congress. Like, you can't say that. It doesn't make any sense.
As part of our script handed down by the parent company that owns our station and all other stations, we're...
Dude, this is a Fox News watcher. Have you guys noticed that? Maybe is it just me, or have right-wingers not become more coherent, but become more unified in the last, like, year? After the Republican primaries, it was like over. It's like we're all hard for Trump. And you know what I think that is? I think that is right around the time when people started just watching Fox News again. I think it is just come back down to Fox News once again. There was this post-election period where after 2020, Fox wouldn't say Trump won. They were the ones that actually called Arizona first. Fox News did, and Trump really didn't like that. He like completely severed connections with them and was all in on fucking Newsmax. He's dumped fucking Newsmax. They're in the fucking gutter. They're done. He's fully back with Fox News because they're the only actual like institutional right-wing media. Like, legally not a news network, true. But it's still the case. Like, it's still like Donald Trump is allies with Fox News again. They love him again. They don't care about, you know, all the election stuff from last time. He stopped whining about it for the most part. You don't hear him whine that much about election fraud anymore. Now he's just like, we won big cases. We really won them bigly. The documents case, we won it. Florida, they threw it out. Which is going to be appealed. I don't know if that's a permanent decision. It is permanent in his mind, though, so he's never going to stop saying it. But he's talking about how all the media gets their talking points handed down from the corporate overlords, and it's like, yeah, dude, literally the news station you got these talking points from is Rupert Murdoch's fucking news channel, dude. Is a legally not a news channel, is a fucking propaganda operation intentionally. Like, god damn, dude. Yeah, now Trump says they're being too mean to Joe, which I don't even think Awaken with JP would echo, but I think he would probably get a little bit into that as well in this video, being like, well, Joe Biden had a chance, but they didn't want to figure it out. They didn't want to get his campaign together. And it's like, yeah, dude, he was fucking rotting. Like, come on now. Even though this is the guy that makes the Joe Biden old joke nonstop. If anything, he'll probably talk about that more than, you know, the fact that they're being mean to him like Trump does.
We're instructed to help you get to know Tim in a positive light because we do journalism. Tampon Tim got his nickname as Minnesota governor when he signed a bill into law requiring all schools to put tampons in boys' restrooms. Something that benefited communities across the...
Only boys' restrooms, chat. Only. Oh, wait. No, it was actually all. No, it wasn't just boys. Like, how do you have to lie. You have to lie. You have to lie to be anti-Tim Walz. You have to be a liar. Why are you only thinking about little boys?
Board. And in spite of approximately 0 of those tampons ever being used, we still consider it a productive use of taxpayer money.
Why
Seriously,
were you counting?
None of those
Shut
boys
up!
used any of the tampons? What'd they do, just bleed on the floor? Tampon Tim also has a strong position on protecting the constitutional rights of Americans by wanting to abolish the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Take a look.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
I never liked that one anyway. Tim also removed.
Yeah, he's trying to abolish the First Amendment. What a dramatic little bitch.
Language from the Minnesota Human Rights Act so that pedophilia would simply be considered a sexual orientation.
No. He's lying, bro. What? That is not what this says. He's just showing something completely different.
If that
He crossed out the part that says sexual orientation does not include a physical or sexual attraction. Okay, wait, he didn't do this himself. This has been repealed. This entire subdivision. You can't keep one fucking sentence of it. That's not how it works. That's crazy. That's insane.
Pedophilia would simply be considered a sexual orientation. If that's not progressive, I don't know what is. And the facts seem to line up that Tim Walz, after abandoning his battalion so he didn't have to be deployed to Iraq, and then inflating his rank after he quit, practices the highly respected...
So, like, it's such nerd shit. It's so lame.
He inflated his rank.
Bitch, shut up! Shut up! He's fucking Master Chief. Who cares? He was in the fucking National Guard. You really are expecting, like, anything from that? It's like being like, yeah, I served in the Coast Guard. As a secretary. I don't give a fuck! This is fucking before I was even born. Would love to see what he looks like without facial hair. Probably a little more like a person and not a caveman. A caved man.
Art of stolen valor. But this is what Tim had to say himself.
First of all, I've committed stolen valor multiple times. You all know I was in Korea. I have my Korean War veteran hat. It's not on me, but I have it. I was in Korea. I am a Master Attorney General, Master Chief. And you will all expect me and respect me as such. That's stolen valor. It's as easy as that.
When asked about it by an uncontrollable reporter.
Governor!
I was in the Korean War in 1952. You were there too, chat. You saw.
You have stolen valor! Your response!
Can't hear him. The plane's too loud.
Walking away and refusing to address the question is basically the same thing as saying, I didn't do it.
What? Yeah, man.
At the same time, why fight for your country in the military when you can become vice president and fight against your country with socialism?
One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
In that same vein, well, Governor.
Yes. He's gonna destroy America. Keep saying that. He's destroying America with socialism, radical communist, Chinese influence. Yes. You look so normal right now. Isabel Awesome, thank you for the gifted sub. I missed that. Yeah, they all use the same socialism clip, which is actually a good point that he's making that they're actually missing completely. He's saying Republicans say everything is socialism when I'm just being neighborly when I say I want you to have health care. And there's actual, like, I'm sorry, there is real reason to this, even from, like, as a socialist, it's not my favorite message to be like, this isn't socialism when you know, obviously should normalize that kind of thing. But for, like, a Midwestern guy, that makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense in the American brain. And it's technically true. Tim Walz is not ideologically a socialist and is not driven to enable the working class to seize the means of production. That's not why he's pro-union. That's not why he's pro-Medicare for all.
Why is he lunga pipì schizophrenic?
JPP. It's because he is a kind person and he's a neighborly person and he wants people in their communities to be taken care of. It's not ideologically driven like that. He's no anti-capitalist. He may come to the same conclusions as an anti-capitalist does, but it's not for those reasons. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with any kind of actual leftist ideology. He's still a Democrat. But he's still, in Democrat terms, a progressive. Which is, you know, preferable to literally anything else in the Democratic Party. Someone you can come to common ground with, an ally, but not necessarily a fucking, you know, radical. And them calling him a radical is hilarious. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Tampon Tim established a COVID turn-in-your-neighbor hotline for citizens to report their neighbors for leaving their houses. And I think that's something that really portrays the 1939 Germany way of life, and America could.
They've moved on from 1984 to 1939. It's worse now.
Really use it.
Hello, you have reached the Department of Public Safety Stay-at-Home Hotline. The information you leave is considered public information. At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated. Thank you.
Tim Walz was also responsible
this was during
for
lockdowns, though, when we didn't know anything, and it was like genuinely beneficial to do lockdowns. What about all the deaths in Florida nursing homes that were hidden? You never hear about that. You hear about Cuomo in New York hiding nursing home deaths during COVID, but you never hear about how Ron DeSantis did that too. I wonder why.
The George Floyd riots in Minneapolis so that the summer of love could spread like wildfire by way of real fire, when he decided it was in the best interest of equity to ignore the mayor's requests for.
This is so awesome. It's the same kind of effect that people, you know, are exhibiting when they say Trump got shot and he put his fist in the air. Joe Rogan literally was like, that's the most American thing ever. I want to vote for him now. Like, if a picture of Trump looking cool makes you want to vote for him, and a picture of Scary City makes you not want to vote for someone else, like, you're a baby. You're responding to shapes and colors. Look, it's scary. Look. Don't mind that this is fucking 4 years ago. Literally more than 4 years ago now. And the city is doing nothing but better. Like, it's literally done. The city is in a much better position than it's ever been because of the things he's done. Like, what do you mean, man? Who was president at this time? Ever think about that?
For help. This could be all of America if you are willing to get out and vote for
Literally Trump's America, and he's like, this is what Kamala will do. Hello? They did this during COVID, too.
Kamala and Tim Walz. Or help turn security cameras at the polling booths off at 3 a.m. on election night. But the latter is going to be more helpful for upholding democracy.
Dude, he's already, give up then. Give up, give up, give up, give up, give up, give up, give up. The election's already rigged. The election's already rigged. If you think it's already rigged, then give up, dude. Give up, give up, give up.
Shit.
Turn it in. You lost. Take the L. Stop riding Trump's dick. You lost. It's already rigged. Who cares? Like, what the fuck is the point then? That's just his, like, little fucking end of the cherry on top of everything else to fucking get the last word in. So it's like, at the end of the day, he could be wrong about every fucking thing else he said. And as long as Trump loses, you know, he's right because they rigged it. It's intellectually dishonest. It's fucking cowardly. It's pussy shit. Fight, bitch. Fight. What happened to fight? This is what Trump was saying when he was pumping his fist after he got shot, and you're like, well, they're going to rig it. Trump is doing the same shit.
But the choice is yours. And before we get to our coverage of the woke Olympics,
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
Another old clip.
And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but
I am the woker. Are you the wokest or are you the woker? Listen, there's only one thing I hear from, listen, Tim Walz has been to China 30 times. And now Kamala Harris says everyone has to be woke.
you have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
They need to be woke.
And you can talk.
She's talking about re-education camps. That's right.
About if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
That's right. Kamala Harris is doing wokeness camps. They're gonna capture you from your home watching Fox News. They're gonna catch you for watching Gutfeld. Honey trap you on X.com. And then trap you in the woke camp. Literally, Awaken with JP is a candidate for the wokeness camps. I'm not even joking. Like, if we're gonna be serious about actually like combating radicalization and de-radicalizing the American population, like you're talking about a hyper propagandized population, you have to have re-education. It's just called education. Hassan said this the other day, and he's right. It's just called like actual education because the American education system is fundamentally incomplete. Re-education is pretty much a scare word. It is. It's literally just a scare word. Conservatives have to learn how to read. Someone has to teach them. Someone has to teach Awaken with JP how to read. Who better than Kamala Harris? I think she can do it. You just put them in a camp. Listen, put them in a fun little camp. I'll be the counselor. A fun camp. Where they learn how to read. They learn shapes and colors they never learned before. That's why they're so scared all the time.
For a different perspective on Vice President nominee, let's send it over to We Lie to You News far middle radical centrist correspondent Brett Pella. Brett, what do you think of Tampon Tim?
Is it just him in a different outfit?
Thanks, JP.
Ah!
No, this isn't the first.
Who is this? Tobuscus? Who is this? What the hell?
Time we've seen a Democratic female nominee for president.
Yeah, guys, she's just like Hillary Clinton. Totally, man. She's just like Hillary Clinton. Totally. She's just like Hillary Clinton, husband to an already unpopular, or wife to an already unpopular president. Institutional Democrat that was part of the Democratic Party for the, most unpopular wars in American history. in fierce support of those wars, in fierce support of criminal justice reform that hurt black communities. Like obviously Kamala too, but not at the same level at all. I'm sorry. Like, Hillary Clinton had 30 years of record of bad shit that she did. Kamala is not comparable. Also, didn't campaign in the Rust Belt. Like Trump isn't right now. I'm telling you, Republicans are having their own 2016. It's real.
Choose as her running mate a glass of lukewarm oat milk named Tim. And while many
See, that's funny. When I first heard about Tim Walz, I was like, oh, he kind of reminds me of Tim Kaine in The Membrane. Except Tim Kaine was a fucking boring choice, piece of shit, not even close to progressive, another institutional Democrat that gained Hillary nothing. An appeal to her own base that gained her no ground and actually made her look worse. Like fucking J.D. Vance. I'm telling you, Republicans are having their own 2016. J.D. Vance is Tim Kaine, guys. Let's be fucking honest. If there's any comparison, that's him.
Progressive champions for inclusive change are overjoyed to have another straight white man leading the charge for their mission.
Why are they so mad that he's a straight white man? Also, as if fucking Josh Shapiro isn't a straight white man, which they all say he should have chosen. He's not diverse enough. They do. So do they do DEI or should they do DEI? What is your fucking what? What? Complain when white guys get, quote, passed up, and then complain when white guys get hired. I hate these cry bullies. They're so annoying.
A few folks on the left are mildly concerned with the potential fire hazard that Governor Walz represents for the country. But on the plus side, all the boys out there whose deadbeat dads never taught them the proper way to put a tampon into their boy vagina will have a much easier time cleaning up their periods, which men can definitely have.
Oh. Another candidate for the first grade education camp. It's time to learn. Get into camp.
Starting in elementary school. Back to you, JP.
Thanks, Brent. I'm being told to stay tuned to this channel as Brent will have a new show air.
He missed the chance to say bussy. First of all, these aren't guys that know like that kind of vernacular. They're too old and too right-wing online. Like, it's a different kind of online than you and me. You know what I mean? They don't have like Zoomer lingo in their vernacular at all. And saying bussy would actually be funny if he, like, you know, was in a news setting and said bussy. That's a little bit of like juxtaposition, which is often a fundamental building block of comedic setup. These guys don't know a lot about stuff like that, but bussy is a queer term, that too. But also, what's part of why these guys are so weird is saying things like boy vagina is the point. Like, how gratuitous they are is the point. They have to say it as gross and disgustingly and as, like, come up with the most gratuitous, awful hypotheticals on purpose.
Any advice for that Elden Ring moon lady? I'm level 32 and I'm about to go kaku nuzzo crazy bonkers mode.
Pringle Boy, that's the second boss in the game. Get good. That's my advice. Hit her with your weapon. If it's too hard, you level up. That's how Elden Ring works. Yeah, that's why they say shit like mutilate. And that's why they use examples like fourth graders. Like, shit that's not even close to real. It's shock. It's an emotional argument. It is feelings over facts.
Airing weekly called.
Some of us are bad at games. Well, get Pringle Boy, someone from the chat.
Brent Pella Saves America. I don't want him on this station. I don't like what he says. Is he controlled opposition?
Hey, JP, I can hear you.
Don't care.
I just look forward to giving all the diverse white people out there, that is your entire audience, a real education for a change.
Go screw yourself, Brent.
I will, after I'm done screwing your mom.
Thank you for your input.
Okay. It's really funny, though.
Anyway, stay tuned because the first episode of Brent Pella Saves America airs next week. Whatever.
On what?
In other news, the
Not on
Olympics
TV,
are in
bro.
full swing with men
What
taking
is that?
heavy-handed swings.
Brent Pella Saves America? Is that his fucking podcast? Like, what it? They didn't describe it. Bro, what the fuck? Yeah, this guy's just a YouTuber. Stand-up comedian, filmmaker. He was on a While and Out. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Oh no. Fuck vegetables. When he watches too much Lex Friedman podcast. That's not a problem you should ever have or relate to. That's sickness. That is sickness. I'm gonna start talking about conservatism the same way like Ugandan pastors talk about homosexuality. It is sickness. Why? Are you gay?
Swings into the faces of women. In the competitive domestic violence division this year,
Dude, that's
this
awesome.
athlete from Algeria took home the gold. Inspires young women
This
everywhere
doesn't have anything to do with Tim Walz, by the way.
to know what could be done to them. After fighting through the tournament to see which country has the women that are the best at being abused, the gold and silver medal match was fought between two men. And that proves that the country with the bronze medalist has the women that are the best at being abused by men with violence.
Bro, oh my god. Are these men in the room with us, man? Like, where are they? Where? You notice he didn't actually show what these fighters look like. He's just like, look, they're two men. Here's a
home the
picture of
gold.
neither of their faces.
Inspires young
Okay, he's been coconut mauled.
He has the women that are to know what could be done to them. After fighting through the tournament to see which country has women, this athlete from Algeria took home the gold. Inspires young women everywhere to know what could be done to them. After fighting through the tournament to see which country has the women that are the best at being abused, the gold and silver medal match was fought.
Yeah, look. Yeah, these are two men. Yeah, dude. This guy was a big Olympics fan before they went woke. This is what I mean when I say free speech was a mistake. This guy shouldn't be, like, allowed to say this at all. It's just insane. You're just a liar. You're lying. You're hallucinating transgender right now. Because your brain can't comprehend the idea of a female Olympic boxer not looking womanly enough for you. It exposes a thread of I'm sorry. It's a thread. It is a thread. This entire argument is a thread that exposes a deeper web, an interconnected web of transphobic paranoia that opens up an entire perspective on this person that is truly ill. Like, if you think the world is like this, you are so detached from reality. This is the pipeline that people go down when they become so transphobic. They just become sick in the head. They become wrong. They're corrupted permanently. It is baffling. Illustration, thank you for the 2 months, by the way. I don't remember if I got that, but thank you. Yeah, gender is what's in your pants, but obviously, you know, if I don't see that, I can make whatever assumptions that I want. Like the "did you assume my gender" crowd is really busy assuming people's genders and then that they're trans. It like, if you're looking at someone and you're like, I don't believe you about something that you cannot prove, you have to let it go. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like saying like, you don't look Christian enough or something. Like you can't fucking prove that. You can't here's my junk. Like, you're not gonna show someone your junk to prove your gender. So you just shouldn't care. It's just not how it works, man. Like, it's crazy.
Between two men. And that proves
They
that the
just look
country
like
with
men
the
to
bronze
him.
medalist has the women that are the best at being abused by men with violence. Congratulations.
And all of a sudden, like, he's a real anti-domestic violence advocate, of course. Even though he says back the blue, which 40% of cops watch Awaken with JP videos, apparently.
And in other Olympic news, French pole vaulter loses a competition when it appears as though his junk knocks the crossbar down. And with this Olympic...
Please don't. It's a funny moment. It's a really funny moment. You guys may have seen it. There was a pole vaulter, or wait, was it hurdles? No, it was pole vault. And he knocked the bar that he's not supposed to touch with his giant wang. It was really funny. But I guess he's going to be like, well, that means he's trans. When you have a giant wang, according to anecdotal data I have seen. Giant wang equals trans.
Games, I'm pretty sure this was the women's category.
Yeah! I knew it! Like, the joke doesn't end with these people. He's not joking!
Meanwhile, in the UK, there is a...
Like, I knew it was gonna be, like... I knew it was obvious. I knew I saw it coming from 10 miles ahead. And it was still, like, the lamest, most, like, lazy delivery possible. Looks like the women's division to me. Awoke. Yeah. Phoning it in, bro. How old is this guy? I think he's like 59. Or he's from the year 1000 BC. We do not know. Thawed from ice.
A civil war happening, and UK authorities will arrest you if you post about it on social media. More on that in a minute. In the UK, violent groups of immigrants are attacking people with axes and machetes while destroying public property because they are protesting British patriots that are protesting open.
Yeah, that's not what is happening. There are white supremacist Nazi fucking protests smashing shit. And he's like, immigrants are attacking people because they're protesting the patriots. Not even how it works in Britain, by the way. Patriot is like an explicitly American term.
Property because they are protesting British patriots that are protesting open borders. And it's possible.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're protesting, he says. They're smashing fucking stores and stealing and looting, but all of a sudden this guy doesn't have a fucking problem with that. It's only bad when it happens after George Floyd, which wasn't a murder apparently. But open borders, you know, that's enough of a reason. Better look out. Immigrants are fighting people with machetes to protest this fucking peaceful protest. Sounds like fucking self-defense being described by an actual insane person. Patriot is just the American word for Nazi because it's just fascism. No. Patriot has a lot of different connotations, but it's an American term. British patriots is an oxymoron.
That it has been lost on them that this type of behavior is the very reason why the British patriots are protesting open borders.
Dude, wow. He's delusional.
Well, luckily, the British authorities are identifying not the violent rioters, but citizens who post about them on social media and arresting them. Take a look.
So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that, and then potentially you're committing that offence. And we do have dedicated police officers who are scouring social media. Their job is to look for this material and then follow up with identification arrests and so forth. So it's a really, really serious.
Protecting the criminals from citizens seeing what the criminals are doing is the
Palestine protesters are the rioters? Wait, what? Palestine protesters? I think you're confused. No, they're not pro-Palestinian, these Nazis that are rioting in the UK. Oh, tone indicators /J. I see. You're good.
Democracy. But in America, with our free speech and all, that could never happen here. Unless you vote for Harris and Tim Walz. Right, Tampon Tim?
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Thanks, Tim.
Hell yeah.
That's it for today's news. And for more on how amazing the least popular vice
so
president...
crazy. It's like... it is just racist as fuck. I mean, he's literally described... He made up immigrants attacking people with machetes. Like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? No evidence, no nothing. Just like a picture of something random.
I don't know how much he even care about education for these people when we could just turn them into spaghetti marinara and focus on helping those who aren't this fucking uninjured.
Yeah, but like that's not gonna happen. No one's gonna turn these guys into spaghetti marinara. Fettuccine Alfredo now. Yeah, there's no turning these guys into spaghetti marinara. That doesn't happen in America. You have to figure out a peaceful option. The only realistic one is re-education. Teach them shapes and colors. Teach them how to read. Use the picture book. They'll get it. I firmly believe that with enough time and attentive care, people like Lindsey Graham will be smart enough to tie their own shoes. And that's a dream that I think we can achieve together. You know? I don't know about Lindsey Graham specifically. I just mean Republicans in general, you know?
Seen to suggest that he was. So that is absolutely false.
Holy that's CNN. I know. Wow. Wait, who did Waltz piss off? Did he steal one of Jake Tapper's copies of Jugs magazine?
I remember those.
Meanwhile, listen to...
Ew. What?
Minnesota Senator Tina Smith comparing Walz to J.D. Vance.
Well, here is Tim Walz, who enlisted when he was 17 years old. He served in the National Guard for 24 years, and I'm not aware of any military service that J.D. Vance has ever served. So let's just make the comparison there.
Let's not, Tina.
Yeah, he was in Afghanistan. Yeah, he hit the Waltz.
Leaving out the main point, no one is accusing Vance of lying. And it's kind of hard to
It's a
believe you're
sign.
not aware of any military service Vance served. What else are you not aware of? That you stole John Denver's haircut? Woo, crazy. Fact is, lies like this got Brian Williams demoted, and the closest he came to combat was being near Matt Lauer's office.
Trump literally just lied recently about like going down in a helicopter, which is similar to what Brian Williams was fired for lying about. But whatever, we don't have to talk about anything he said because he's fucking hiding from the media right now, ironically. He did one fucking presser, and then he's like, Kamala's hiding from the media, and then he's like, I'm not doing any rallies for a month. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. Maybe he'll do some, but they ain't scheduled.
But apparently the new tactic here is to muddy the waters, right, Nance?
J.D. Vance has criticized him as never having been in combat. And,
Has he?
And,
Has he?
Well,
has J.D. Vance been in combat?
Well, I think he was over in Iraq, I think.
I think. Wow, these are some journalists. Now, Nance, JD never said he was
People
in
watch this for real? Yeah, man. A lot of people watch Gutfeld. He's like the #1. He more so than Laura Ingraham. Definitely filled in Tucker's spot, but doesn't have the same reach for obvious reasons.
Bad, unlike Waltz, which you would have clearly heard if your last facelift hadn't blocked your ears. The honest take, though, comes from Mayor Pete, who wrote, quote, denigrating a soldier's service based on whether he deployed to a war zone is kind of like denigrating a woman's citizenship based on whether she happens to have children.
Which is what J.D. Vance did.
So
I guess he's just going to pretend like he doesn't know about that.
2 months of paternity leave makes him an expert on childbirth. This is the worst analogy ever. A non-deployed soldier is like a childless woman. Maybe if the childless woman tells...
No, it's about the denigration. It's not... He's so dishonest. He's like, well, you're comparing, you're saying they're the same kind of person? It's like, no. No. It's the attitude of the... Whatever.
Tells people if she has kids to get benefits. Boom. Yeah. Mayor Pete manages to derail train.
He looks like he would play like... like an evil guy in a movie.
And conversations. So it seems the Dems only fight when it's political. Then they circle the wagons. The problem is what they're defending for many Americans is indefensible. You can lie about stolen valor, but you can't make veterans forget about it. Let's look at tonight's guest.
Yeah, Gutfeld does air kind of late because it's considered like a late night show, and there are definitely a lot of people that just leave it on after watching their Fox News for the day.
Gets cold feet. Fox News contributor Johnny Joey Jones. She was the cute one on MTV.
Oh my god, dude. I hate the Hunger Games comparisons when they talk about like the Met Gala and shit, because Republicans dress like the Hunger Games every fucking regular day. It's the fucking clashing colors and the insane patterns and the nonsensical makeup. Crazy.
Couldn't have been too impressed with our capital.
Don't mean Kurt Loder. Host of Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. He's destroyed more snowflakes than rock salt. Comedian Lou Perez.
Who?
And his ear canal is bigger than the Erie Canal.
You just like didn't say anything. You just gibberish.
Joey, help guide this conversation in the right place, because I know that a lot, like if people aren't aware of stolen valor, or they're not in the military, they can be understandably ambivalent about these details. Because the thing that I hear is
stolen valor is the worst fucking story, dude.
20,
it's such a non-story. It's crazy.
4 years in the National Guard. I mean, you didn't do that. Isn't that good enough? But that isn't the point, because people who do stolen valor are in the military for the most part.
Yeah, so here's what's funny about this. Nobody's denigrating him for not going to combat.
Yeah.
They didn't just say one day, you know what, you were in the military, but you didn't go to combat, so it doesn't count. He said he went to combat. They're mad at him or pointing out that he denigrated his own service by in his own words,
dude,
serving 24 years in the National Guard wasn't enough. He had to go and...
It's not a story and it's not real. It's so dumb. Critics accuse Walz of embellishing military career. Wow.
Lie and say the weapon I carried in war, or to leave it just open enough that somebody can infer that his deployment in support of Operation Enduring Freedom would have been in Afghanistan, where most people who deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom went. And so he's done this. He's used this as an opportunity to get folks to support him, to get veterans to believe he went to combat and served in war.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a weak angle. It's a really weak angle of attack. No one cares. They're not talking about policy right now. They're spending all this time talking about like specific military rank and military jargon that is literally, quite literally, more confusing than pronouns. I'm not even joking. It is way more confusing. People know more about pronouns. Your average guy knows more about pronouns than he does military ranks. So this is stupid and needless, but it is filler because they don't have anything else. They don't.
Member of a VFW, right? You didn't go to
all the straws that they're grasping on. Eventually, they'll hit something they think works, and they'll use that as a branch to the next, next point in the media cycle that they can like carry over all the talking points to. But until then, we're just waiting for them to move on. But they just really like the stolen valor story and tampons. That's it. That's all they have on Tim Walz.
From war. He may can, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
And so the idea here is that he has chosen to define his service based on whether or not he went to war by making it a point to lie about going to war. I don't want any veteran to go to war. I appreciate my buddies that didn't have to. There are only a few of them. Because if you serve for 24 years, for him, for half a dozen while we were at war, you have to work hard not to go to war. So that's a different subject. And then the rest of this about he left his unit before they deployed. Listen, I don't know if he had fear of death or fear of missing out, but he chose to go run for Congress. Good on him. His unit will never forget it. There's half a dozen of them that are talking about it. When you're in a position of leadership, when the word command is in your title, you have an added responsibility to not just do the right things, but show others what the right things are. And the right things are not pulling up chalks and leaving.
Mm-hmm. All right. Kennedy, I did some research on you. Turns out that you have been to an Army-Navy game.
That's right. That's right, Greg.
Do you think it was fair of you to extrapolate that into telling people you were a Navy SEAL?
It felt like it, Greg, because it was raining.
Yes.
And so there were waterworks. There was a lot of circumnavigation of the parking lot.
Yes.
I had to use my powers of deductive reasoning to figure out where to get a White Claw within the stadium. And, frankly,
they got to turn off Greg's microphone. Why did they just leave his microphone on? It's nasty. He's like choking and dying in the background.
November 11th, is it the 7th or 11th? I throw myself a little bit of a party because, thank you, the 11th, because I frankly deserve it.
Yes.
And I'm more brave than Tim Walz, and I'm surprised that Kamala Harris didn't pick me.
Yeah. Do you think? Can you get angry about this?
I can get angry about this.
Okay.
I can do whatever you need me to. I mean, it's like the casting session.
No, I mean, like
get going, Greg. There goes.
This is also going to majorly alienate all the right-wing vets that didn't go to war. I don't know about that. if you're a right-wing vet, you're a right-wing vet. But it goes to show that you know, they don't really care about the military and are just like using whatever they can. And the collateral damage might be that like some I mean, vets start seeing this for like what it is just like a fucking propaganda moment. But I don't know, you know, it's I don't think it like lasts with people. It's just it's filler. It's filler.
Their freedoms. Yes, you can, because I happen to be, my domestic partner is a combat veteran, and combat sucks. And it's not like.
Today's Politico announced that Donald J. Trump's political campaign has been hacked. Earlier this morning, representatives from Trump's political campaign confirmed that their internal documents have been compromised and exfiltrated. The TLDR is that Trump's team was a victim of suspected Iranian state-sponsored threat actors with the intent of interfering with the United States 2024 election. They successfully compromised the Trump campaign staffers by performing an SP. Cut off. Hacked by Iran. Okay. That's the new story? All right. Hell yeah, let's go. Trump campaign said it has been hacked. That's awesome. W Iran. Wobron, Lex said. These documents were obtained illegally from foreign sources hostile to the United States. Iranian hackers broke into the account of a high-ranking official in the U.S. presidential campaign in June 2024, which coincides with the close timing of President Trump's selection of a vice presidential nominee. This comes after recent reports of an Iranian plot to assassinate President Trump around the same time as the Butler, Pennsylvania tragedy. Oh, God. Do not connect it to that. That's crazy. The Iranians know that President Trump will stop their reign of terror. Okay, this is just a spokesman from his campaign. It's still not clear whether Iran was responsible for the attack. The Iranian mission to the UN says it does not accord any credence to such reports. The Iranian government neither possesses nor harbors any intent or motive to interfere in the United States election, the mission said in a statement. When asked whether the Trump campaign had been in contact with law enforcement, a campaign official said it would not discuss those kinds of conversations. What? Why? The FBI said in a statement that the agency is aware of the media reporting and we have no further comment or information at this time. Weird. As we've said many times, the Biden-Harris administration, the White House said Saturday, it condemned any foreign interference. So wait, what are the documents? What was taken? What was exfiltrated? Iranian hackers sent a spear phishing email in June. Oh my God. It was a phishing email. We don't know. That's so awesome. Boomer campaign. Caught by a phishing email. He did not share with he did not share with 100 friends, and he has been cursed. They fell for a fucking phishing link. Some sources say Trump's 270-page dossier of J.D. Vance's vulnerabilities. That's so fucking funny. Please leak it. Please. Whoever the hackers are. Iran. I will defect in Minecraft. If that document gets leaked to the media. Microsoft did not identify the campaign targeted by the email and declined to comment Saturday. Wait, what? Politico has not independently verified the identity of the hacker or their motivation, and a Trump campaign spokesperson declined to say if they had further information subordinating the campaign's suggestion that it was targeted by Iran. This is crazy. So I don't believe it was Iran at all. The only people saying it's Iran are the Trump campaign. It was a fucking phishing email. They said that fucking Thomas Matthew Crooks was Iran. They click on a fucking phishing email and get a virus, and they think it's fucking Iran too. There's no way. There's no fucking way. I don't believe that at all. He's so old. They're all so old. These documents were obtained illegally from foreign sources hostile to the United States, intended to interfere, blah, blah, blah. This is the spokesperson. On Friday, a new report from Microsoft found that Iranian hackers broke into the account of a high-ranking official on the U.S. presidential campaign. This doesn't... The spokesperson declined to say whether the campaign had been in contact with Microsoft or law enforcement about the breach. Why would they not say that? Politico began receiving emails from an anonymous account. Over the course of the past few weeks, the person who used an AOL email account and identified themselves only as Robert relayed what appeared to be an internal communications from a senior Trump campaign official. Oh my God, it's not Iran, it's Robert, bro. It's Robert. W. Robert. Robert. Wobbert. A research dossier the campaign had apparently done on Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, which was dated February 23, was included in the documents. The documents are authentic, according to two people familiar with them, and granted anonymity to describe the internal communications. Holy shit, Politico actually has them. Oh my God. One of the people described the dossier as a preliminary version of Vance's vetting file. The research dossier was a 271-page document based on publicly available information about Vance's past record and statements, with some, such as his past criticisms of Trump, identified in the document as potential vulnerabilities. Oh no. The person also sent part of a research document about Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who was also a finalist for the vice presidential nomination. That would have been a funny choice. The person said they had a variety of documents from Trump's legal and court documents to internal from Trump's legal and court documents to internal campaign discussions. Robert, bro. Holy. This is so sketchy. No, okay, so Robert is who is in contact with Politico themselves. Robert reached out to Politico.
He couldn't have been
the
too
Trump
impressed
campaign,
with our capital. It looks like shit.
I believe recently, today, said that we're hacked by Iran. Hacked. It would make more sense if it were Iraq, but you know. Apparently someone logged into Trump's Twitter account in 2020 by guessing that the password was MAGA 2020. Yeah, it was literally a spear phishing link. They sent the same shit they send to your grandma. And they fucking stole documents. And gave them to Politico. Robert did. The person said they had a variety of documents. When asked how they obtained the documents, the person responded, "I suggest you don't be curious where I got them from. Any answer to this question will compromise me and also legally restricts you from publishing them." Fuck yeah. The scope of the information obtained by the hacker is unclear, but it represents a major security breach. Did they not? Show me the document. Last month, reports emerged of the U.S. intelligence community increasing research into Iran plot to kill Trump. Yeah. Huh. So, they're in contact with the guy, and then what? It just doesn't go anywhere. They don't know who the hacker is, but they know Robert with the AOL email account. Show me the document. Show me the vulnerabilities.
The Trump campaign revealed today that it has been hacked, and these documents were sent to Politico, which reported that it received from an anonymous account thousands of internal campaign documents.
Release them.
Now, in a statement, Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung said that these documents were obtained from foreign sources, suggesting that it was Iran who was behind this hacking. Chung pointed to a report published earlier this week from Microsoft. He said in a statement, these documents were obtained illegally from foreign sources hostile to the United States, intended to interfere with the 2024 election and sow chaos throughout the democratic process. On Friday, a new report from Microsoft found that Iranian hackers broke into the account of a high-ranking official on a U.S. presidential campaign in June 2024, which coincides with the close timing of President Trump's selection of a vice presidential nominee. Now, this Microsoft report, which was released earlier this week, it said in June 2024.
Lust for furniture, fear of the dark, hatred of unmarried women with no children.
Which coincides with the close timing of President Trump's selection of a vice presidential nominee. Now, this Microsoft report, which was released earlier this week, it said that a hacking group associated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, they attempted to break into the account of a high-ranking campaign official in June. They did not say which campaign it was or if it was successful, so it's not yet clear that it was Iran that was behind this hacking, Jessica.
I think this was the type of polling we've been waiting for, right? We've seen that national polling showing movement towards Kamala Harris. Now we get some swing state polling showing something very similar. All right, these are in the Great Lake battleground states. We're talking about Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. You go back to May, what'd you see? You saw that a pretty tight race between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but you see more red than blue on the screen. Of course, all three of these states were states that Joe Biden carried last time around. You saw a 3-point lead for Trump in Pennsylvania, one well within the margin of error in Wisconsin, and then a 1-point lead for Biden, Michigan. But look at where we are now. This is the type of movement the Harris campaign has been looking for. Look in Pennsylvania, a 4-point advantage. Wisconsin, a 4-point advantage. Michigan, a 4-point advantage. And in all three of these states, we see clear movement towards the Democratic nominee. I will point out we're still in no clear leader land in this particular instance, but the Harris campaign has to love this movement. Dude,
up 4 points in PA. Fuck everyone who thought Josh Shapiro would give them Pennsylvania. Bullshit. It would have gone down. Mark my fucking words. They picked Tim Walz, 4 points up over Trump in PA. That's so fucking good. PA is necessary for this election. That is so fucking good. Damn, that's awesome.
5 points in Wisconsin and 3 points
so glad
in the
she
great
didn't
state
fucking
of
pick
Michigan,
Josh Shapiro.
all moving towards Kamala Harris, and she has the
Kamala may
advantage
just
in
win.
all
She's
three, although again,
running
no
up.
clear leader within the margin.
And this is like a week into the campaign, chat. Trump's been campaigning for the better part of 3 fucking years to get his job back. People are tired of this bozo. But listen, chat. I'm tired of being the bozo that's live.
Don't be rude.
I'll be live tomorrow for Sunday service. I know it's a shorter one, but them's the breaks. We looked at some fun copium from the MAGA crowd. We may look at Trump's Montana rally, considering it's the last fucking rally we're going to see until he goes underground for the next month. Final stick bug, thank you. Yep, that's basically it. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, thanks, motherfucker. Okay.